I like how everyone just goes completely silent. I'm starting the stream. Everyone just dies.
I'm gonna be multitasking devices here. I'm on the
Okay.
Discord on my computer. I have my notes on my iPad. I'm gonna be watching the stream on my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna just drop
about
the.
same.
I was just gonna drop the stream link into my Discord and another Discord.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know the other Discord you're talking
Yeah,
about,
let me
which is
put
basically
mine in
your
my
Discord
server
with more
and
people.
in the content creator thing.
Oh no, that's not the Discord. I've got another Discord of some of my more normie friends. I was gonna drop it into.
Ah, Rangy gets it's Mr. Worldwide over here.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't mix my internet friends with my other internet friends.
Oh, I mean that's what I do with
fuck
you
is
too.
that basically, I have different friend groups that are just different. I've got the people I actually have met and are actual personal friends, and then I've got the randos I shitpost a lot with.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I want those randos. Am I a shitpost rando?
Yes.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, the other people I've known for 10+ years.
Yo, no, I know what you. I'm like the people I'm seeing the movie with tonight. I've known since the one since kindergarten, the other since middle school.
Yeah. Just let me know when we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Wait,
are we? It didn't show up on your channel, or
it's probably taking.
There it is. No, I had to refresh. All right. Yeah. So I guess, of course, I got an ad.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait, how much of that? How much
I'm
of
getting
that
that money
conversation is
either way,
live?
my guy. I'm getting that money.
Where I assume we're getting exactly the amount we would get on if it was our channel. Nothing.
So wait, all our talk about schizo postings now on the live stream.
Schizo posting.
Hey,
wait. Is our
term.
discussion about schizo posting?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about 2 minutes ago. should we restart one more time?
No. It's too late. It's too late.
All right.
I was gonna say, to be fair, this does give time for people to jump in at least.
Yeah,
well,
that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, I see how this is, Lulu. You're trying to trap me. You had me talking when I didn't know we were live.
Yeah, I was trying to catch you in 4K saying some slurs, buddy.
Wow. This is gonna be quite the stream.
Oh
it'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm definitely just gonna axe the first few minutes of the stream when I re-upload it. I'm like,
yeah.
This is such a chaotic start. You can edit streams and post.
Man, it's been a long ass time since I watched this show. Hey Vinny, what's up? You were not the person I thought would be the first person to type in chat. What the fuck?
Oh, we have a viewer. Welcome.
Wow. Yeah, IRL friend actually that I haven't spoken to in months. That's why I was surprised.
Are you one of those disgusting grass touchers?
Yeah,
not
what's
anymore.
outside?
I'm not. That's because I've been dead for a year. Yeah, that adds up. That adds up. Yeah.
You have 3 people watching?
I'm one of them.
I guess so.
Sometimes Discord's metric, the viewer number is a bit weird and slow.
Wait, Lulu, are you watching on a separate device?
On my phone, yeah.
So we're the only 3 viewers. Let's go.
Well, Post-a-Code is
there's 4 now. There's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I've been playing BO6 this past 3 days. Yeah, I was supposed to be playing it, but something happened. I'll say that.
I'm not a fan of those games.
What?
Just not
Call
my
of Duty?
Nope. I only ever played it with my brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of those I'll play it with. I'm not a big third person or first person shooter guy. I've always been more of a
Yeah.
single player guy.
Yeah, I gotcha. Call me a no life, but already got diamond launchers and LMG. What the fuck? The game's been out for
So
3 days,
weird.
or not even. Actually, it came out. It came out yesterday, 3 days before I had like early access or whatever. What the fuck?
Yeah, that means he had what, like at least 24 hours? Come on.
I
Real
guess.
gamers don't sleep.
Props to you.
What is
Postcard.
sleep? I haven't slept in years.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the marksman rifles. Nice. Well, actually, it's probably easy to get camos right now because there's no fucking guns in the game yet. Like, it's base guns. No guns have been added.
Yeah.
Like,
Am I the only one
extra
who
ones.
hates that part of gaming nowadays? That
Well,
it's
did
like
you say
they
South Park?
expect you.
What?
Just I hate that part of gaming where it's like you buy the
Oh, I think
game and
it's
then it's
South
like,
Park.
oh, there's no guns in the game yet. You have to wait like 6 months for them to put all the content in.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't start
sucks.
playing the last Call of Duty until the end of the game, and there was an overwhelming amount of guns. Like, I didn't know what was what, and it was just very confusing. So I kind of like the system they have where when the game comes out, there's like barely any shit, and then like every couple weeks or months they add more guns and weapons and stuff, and it's like a good system that they have.
Yeah.
Hate a base game
Uh,
weapon,
uh,
DLC weapon will save you from having to do that one. Yeah.
Most unique piece of zombie media. Interesting.
Yeah,
uh,
I told you I was gonna keep that title. Okay, it's genius. It's genius.
Little clickbaity, little clickbaity.
No, well, it's true. Actually, it's true.
I
Baby.
see. The
I
man
mean,
gets
to
the
be fair, it
monthly.
is the most unique one I've seen so far. So, but I
Yeah,
haven't watched a lot. Take
Yeah, the
that for what
man
it's
gets
worth.
I
the
have a lot of
monetization until
comparisons,
out.
to other like zombie shit, and like especially the first episode. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Either way, I think it's probably best to start off with just general thoughts so that, like, anyone who does tune in or watch the VODs later knows just what we think about it. So it's before we get into, like, the proper, like, spoiler stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
okay.
And also,
What
I'm
do
just gonna
you want to start?
well,
Because I'm not really sure what to
before we
say.
start, I'm just gonna when I upload the VOD, I'm just gonna skip right to this part, like just
Yeah,
trim because there's nothing really worth
cut out the
it.
first
Yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes. Unless
This
it's
is
talking
this
about
is kind
Call
of
of Duty.
this
Thanks,
is
Post
kind
to
of the
COD
difference
in the
between.
chat.
Dude, I didn't even know I was live until like 3 minutes into the stream.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, this is the difference between when you're streaming versus when you like when you're uploading a VOD. Because with streaming, it helps to give like a nice like 5-10 minute buffer while people come in, and
All
so
five
that
when
people,
you
which
when you
3 of which
upload the
are
video on
us.
your channel, I bet it'll only be like a third of the stream. I imagine you're gonna have to cut a
Oh,
lot.
do you think?
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna definitely cut the beginning, but do you think we're gonna have to cut segments later?
Oh no, we'll
maybe.
just have to cut out all the gamer words. Don't worry.
You
Man,
only
these
get to hear
first
it
10
here,
minutes are
folks.
so important. You got to know about the state of COD. This is a joke. Thank you, Post to COD.
But yeah, so I think I'm fine starting. I'm the resident weeb here, so
Yeah,
yeah.
you and
Resident
Lulu can
Weeb.
take the lead.
That's funny.
The Zombo and the Weeb.
The Resident Weeb. That's such a good pun. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just a punky monkey. I'll just be making puns throughout the stream.
Yeah, Resident Weeb. It's like an off-brand Resident Evil, but
Yeah.
Like a
instead of
really shitty one.
no, instead of turning into zombies, they turn into waifus.
That's actually scarier.
That's probably a fan game out there somewhere on like
I
Game Jolt.
guarantee there's some hentai game out there.
Hi,
Have
Davin.
fun.
Welcome to the stream. Thanks for calling
Welcome to the
me
shit show.
gay and daddy. I appreciate it.
Like Big
I
Daddy.
love
But
my
yeah,
Yeah.
friends. I love my friends. They're great.
but yeah. So
Hold the
I
dip
guess
vote. Sorry, go ahead.
I I said I guess probably just to prompt this as a good like stream start. Yeah, so my
Yeah.
thoughts on the show, I watched it when it was coming out originally.
When did
And
it come out?
I really remember liking it. I found it very unique take on zombie media. Zombie media is always very nihilistic. That's kind of a trend it has. And I kind of liked this show is kind of the opposite of that. Well, also it's
Mm-hmm.
clear it very much appreciates zombie media. The
Mm-hmm.
animation is very good. The characters are very strong as far as characterization. I really like it. I'd
Yeah,
recommend it in a heartbeat.
Just a
that's fair.
preface for the audience. I've seen 5 episodes. Lulu has seen 7 episodes, and Rangi has seen the whole thing at least 2 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2.5.
Okay.
2.5. Really, we're gonna take it.
I'll probably have
Uh,
seen it a third time by the time we do. By the time we get to the
second stream.
other 5. Yeah.
Make it true
Yeah.
50.
um,
What are your thoughts?
me
Do
or
you guys want to go like left or right and like start with Lulu and then?
Well, I already started, so
yeah, you already
Oh yeah,
started.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so
You
then we'll
go.
do counterclockwise. No, no.
yeah,
Okay,
you're
I'll
the
go.
one with your notes open right there on your laptop.
Yeah.
Come
So
on.
from the first 5 episodes, I thought it was a very interesting subversion of the typical zombie media, right? Like it still has a lot of the same tropes, but they don't play them exactly the same way, and a lot of it's like tongue in cheek, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then I also really well, we'll get into it more, but I really like how the first episode uses color to contrast the nihilism and optimism, and
Yes.
the unique aspect of how they set it up and execute it. I thought was really well done. Like I said, we'll get into more specifics later, but I think the visual imagery is really good in this show. I think the characters are super likable. I think the pacing is really well done. And I think what was I gonna say? The thematics are very much appreciated in this show. That's probably the best part of a very strong show.
Yeah, I
All right, Lulu,
totally
you can go.
agree. I would just like everyone to know that I'm not an anime viewer. I have seen like 3 animes ever. I've seen Beyblades, I've seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and that's about it. So I didn't know what I was getting
What was the
myself
third?
into. Um, oh what?
I was jokingly saying what was the third, but I guess it would be this show.
Yeah,
Oh
this is the
God, we already
third.
have
This is
ads
the
on our
third. Yeah.
stream. Oh,
Um,
Lulu, yeah, I forgot you can have ads.
Bruh, getting ad on my own video is crazy. Anyway, um, yeah, no, I'm not an anime fan. I didn't know what the fuck I was getting myself into, and I ended up really enjoying it. Even though I think like Japanese media, they have this thing where they like really over exaggerate their acting and like
Mhm.
are
Yeah.
really over the
Oh,
top.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
movies, games, and anime, like all of it is like really over the top. But I think maybe
It
that's part of the appeal. So
it yeah, it very
yeah,
much is, at least for me, as a fan of anime, because that's part of why I like it. So
yeah.
Yeah, it also
Um,
over exposits in places, which is also another very typical anime trope.
that is actually something that comes out through from manga in a
Yeah, I
lot of
know
ways.
but
Yeah,
it's still on the animation studio to realize that they are a visual medium, so they can cut some of that out. Which this show's not
yeah.
as bad as others, but
But
it still has it in places.
yeah.
it's one of those tropes that I get why people get annoyed with it. For me, it always depends on how it's done. It's always about execution, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have also heard good things about Full Metal Alchemist, but I've yet to see it.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood specifically, because
Is that like the
oh,
Shippuden to like the Naruto kind of thing?
no.
Wait, is that
So
what the
what
chat
happened
was talking about when they said Postcard said
FMAB. FMAB,
that's
that's
what
Full
that
Metal
is?
Alchemist
Okay.
Full
Brotherhood.
Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah, I've heard
So
a lot of things about it.
yeah, so the thing with Full Metal Alchemist, basically what happened is it had the original show, which is Full Metal Alchemist, but the show outpaced the manga, and so they had to make up their own story at that point, because manga takes a long time to come out, basically. And
Okay.
shows, an anime is usually kind of a lot of it's a normal thing for the anime to be running at the same time as the
So
show.
much fucking filler. So much fucking filler. Oh,
Yeah, well,
wait.
that's the reason
Are
that
we allowed to curse without getting you demonetized, Olivia?
Yeah, we can curse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it has so much filler oftentimes. It's because if they outpace the manga, then they kind of have to make up their own story. But Full Metal Alchemist did that, and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a remake of the anime that is accurate to the source material. So it's following the manga's plot,
Right.
rather than the one they had to make up for the original anime. Hellsing is the same way. That's why there's Hellsing and Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah.
It happens with anime, and not all anime get that second series. But yeah, this show. Let's to pull it back from the tangent a little.
Okay.
This show had production issues that were entirely different from that. I don't know if I know somebody said in the chat that they had seen the show. Because I was watching the show as it was coming out, which I don't usually do, but it had like several delays where episodes were delayed like weeks, and then suddenly was like delayed indefinitely. And I think there's rumors that a studio was actually pulled off of its production.
What?
Yeah, Studio Shaft, I believe, was removed from the credits of at least one episode.
Damn. I wonder why.
There's a lot of rumors, including the fact that Studio Shaft, let's just say, there are rumors that Studio Shaft working conditions might reflect a certain character in the show's working conditions.
Oh, the boss.
But basically, there are rumors. Animation studios have really bad working conditions. It's a normal
it's
thing
like
in the industry.
I noticed it's like a meme on the internet. Like that's how bad it is.
Yeah. Look, you have to whip the animation slaves into making good art.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as this show, I believe you were saying that this was the third anime you'd ever seen, and that you weren't a general anime fan. So, what were your direct thoughts on this as a non-anime fan?
Non-anime fan.
And as a zombie enthusiast, I guess we could say.
As a zombie enthusiast, it was really interesting because it takes that Scream approach where it knows what genre it's in. It knows it's a zombie movie. It knows and it doesn't like take itself seriously. It's all for fun and jokes. At least until, like episode 4 and whatnot. But I don't know. It's so interesting. And like as a non-anime fan, it's just like fuck, I don't know how to word it. I don't know how to word it. It was a really interesting watch. I'll say that.
Damn, Lulu, you got 2 ads in like 10 minutes.
You got to rake in those big bucks. Come on.
He's got to make in the big bucks off of. Oh, we got 4 watching now. There we go.
I'm gonna make like 2 pennies off this video probably.
Hey, it's 2 pennies more than
2.5.
2.5.
Sorry, go back to what you were saying.
Um,
I didn't interrupt you with a shitty joke.
no, you're good.
Well,
I was literally about
I,
done. I was done.
Oh, well,
I,
there we go.
yep. I guess the only follow up I'd have is, would you recommend it?
So far, yes.
To anime fans, yeah.
Yeah,
Even
that's
for
fair.
an anime, it's not as bad as some other ones. I mean, I'm not like I haven't seen as much as Rangi, but I've seen like 20 or so, and this is not the most weeb anime I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very normie friendly. It's very
Okay.
normie friendly.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not the it's I feel like it's in between, right? I feel like it's kind of in that middle ground between normie friendly and like super weeb. Like I like a more normal normie friendly show would be
Oh
like
yeah,
Death Note.
yeah. My
Yeah.
other zombie anime option was much more weeb. I don't think you guys would like it.
Uh-huh.
This is not a show I would show my parents. Like I've shown them Death Note and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That's fair.
And we'll get into why later. All right,
Yeah.
um,
so that was the general like first impressions of this. Anyone else want to say anything before we get into like some more specific stuff?
Uh,
this kind of goes into episode 1, but I wrote in my notes, this feels like if Shaun of the Dead was an anime. That was the
I
biggest comparison to a zombie movie I could make, is Shaun of the Dead.
I I've
that
yet to see
uh,
the movie.
It's
I
great.
do actually get what you mean, and actually, for episode going into episode 1, this is something I found interesting. Do you think am I the only one who thinks it wasn't unintentional that a lot of a lot of Akira, once he's properly into the company in episode 1, that a lot of his movements are very zombie-esque?
Yeah, no, that's super intentional. It's
Yeah, that was
the
intentional.
symbolism kind of the
Yeah.
imagery of like him being zombified at his job, but then once the zombie apocalypse actually starts, like he comes to life again, and we'll get
Yeah.
more into that later. But yeah, that was definitely intentional.
Yeah.
So do we want to start from the beginning then?
I
Yeah.
think so,
Okay,
yeah.
beginning of episode one. All right, I'll let one of
Uh,
you two take it off because I didn't really start taking more in detailed notes until like
alright.
5 minutes in.
Alright. You want me to run down kind of the basic events, and you guys to and then you guys to like flag when we want to like talk about something, or
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
just go through the episode beat by beat, and
uh,
then we'll explain more in depth like our thoughts as we go.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
open to our main character Akira being introduced the at the company he's now working for. Well, actually, no, that isn't the proper intro. The proper intro is him watching a zombie movie,
Yeah. I
and
was gonna say because you
right.
think you're watching the zombie movie is what you think is the anime at first, but then you realize it's just a
Yeah.
movie. They do that several
That
times
was
throughout the first five
smart. That
episodes.
was really smart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
they
a
do it
cool
again
It
with
was well.
visual.
they
Yeah.
do it later on with a
This
video
is
game. Yeah.
Yeah, they do
yeah.
it a couple times. Yeah, they
Well,
do it
this
with the
is
girl as
something.
well. But yeah,
This is something
Yeah.
I noticed. It's a very common kind of trope in anime where, or not in anime, but in zombie stuff, where they don't acknowledge basically the existence of zombie media.
and if they
If you know what I
do, they
mean?
usually like only pay it like a half-assed, like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
yeah,
like
this is what they're called. They're called zombies. We're gonna call it something different. Like this is
Yeah.
very tongue-in-cheek references to other zombie shows.
yeah, well, this one it literally opens with a protagonist watching a zombie movie. I
Hmm.
think that's also addressed because they reference kind of zombie tropes too,
Oh, for sure.
directly, and to the point where characters literally like, oh well, this happens a lot in zombie movies.
Yeah, but they do it in like a non-cringe way, which is nice because you
Yeah,
can easily fuck that up.
it's not like elbowing you. It's kind of like
Mhm.
it,
Yeah,
it's it's like you can tell there's an appreciation without it just trying to like talk down to you, I guess, which a lot of like
Mhm.
things like this that kind of spoof genres,
Yeah, and they don't
a lot of them
over-explain it
do.
either. Yeah. You guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
call him Akira or Tendo? I call him Tendo usually in my notes.
Wait.
Well,
He has
the
two
episode
names?
name,
Well, his last
yeah,
name's Tendo.
yeah.
Oh.
So it's very common in Japanese for people to it referring to somebody as their given name rather than their family name is treated as more uh more personal. So usually it would be
Yeah.
like instead of say calling iron, I'd call let's say if his family name is Mandrill, I'd be like, oh, Mandrill-san, how are you doing today?
Yeah, so like
Oh,
most of the characters he interacts with are close friends or
Yeah.
or such. So that's why they call him Akira. Because
yeah,
usually they would call him the last name, right?
Yep, yep, yeah. And
yeah.
usually also in Japanese, the family name comes first. So
Mhm.
instead of Akira Tendo, it's Tendo
Endo
Akira.
Akira.
That's
Yeah,
yeah, that's
Chinese
how.
and Chinese and Korean are the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so Akira's introduced, and it seems like a. It's funny. It seems like a very like chill place at first,
Hmm.
but I think there are a few like minor signs if you're paying attention that
Which
the
I
Yeah.
this
wasn't,
workplace
unfortunately,
It's
at
is.
that
like
point.
Yeah,
it's like
if you
misleading.
look, yeah, if you look at the characters in the office, a lot of them have like wrinkles under their eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like
visual language in the show is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's very so. And I think if they put bags under their eyes or something that made them look super tired. I also think that the fact that it's Akira's perspective, kind
Mhm.
of, he's seeing it as a more positive environment at first. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
we see him go through his kind of first day on the job. He meets
Mhm.
a woman from accounting,
Mhm.
Otori, I believe was her name.
Yeah, her name's Miss Otori, but I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah,
was all
it's a
one name. So in my notes, I had it Miss
Okay.
Otori, but then I realized it's Miss
Dude,
Otori, and well,
I can I confess something right now?
yeah.
I I
sure.
didn't know whose name was what. I wrote I wrote whenever we were talking about Akira, I wrote the main character, and then when they introduced the best friend, I just put the best friend, and then like
Good job.
for the love interest, I put like risk analyst
Accounting girl.
woman. Like I
Good
Oh,
didn't
okay,
job.
know
that
their
girl.
names,
Yeah.
and so
No,
I
well, to
just
be fair,
wrote
we
what they
didn't know
were.
risk analyst woman until the end of episode
Shizuka, I
5.
believe,
Yeah,
was the girl.
Yeah,
yeah,
we get her name at the end of episode 5 because that's like an actual plot point that she doesn't like want to
Yeah,
connect with
yeah,
people.
yeah.
We'll get to that
Well, we
later.
meet
Yeah.
her in episode 2, but yeah,
But yeah, so Miss Otori, I didn't realize that until he goes to her apartment, which again we'll get to later.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we go through like his day at the office, kind
Hmm.
of being introduced to the workplace. Everything seems normal and positive, and then and then eventually it quickly cuts to kind of uh, them at the office at a restaurant, which I believe this is a normal Japanese thing. You take out like
Yeah,
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 because
you
they
take
they
out
work
like
long
one of the guys.
hours, so yeah, they'll go
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
dinner and then go back to work.
yeah.
Yeah.
You drink with
damn.
your boss and your
Mhm.
coworkers in Japan. It is actually a normal thing.
Yeah, I mean, you do it too in the US, just a little bit more taboo, especially in recent times.
It's seen as a
Okay.
bit weird. It's seen as a bit weird and
Like,
inappropriate here. It's not as
I mean,
much.
I've drank with my boss before and
Yeah,
coworkers, but
yeah,
it's like a rare occasion, and it's like a little bit more formal than they had it.
yeah, and you get like a lot of socializing, and this is actually where they also drop the information. This is actually information
Oh
that
yeah,
I
the
think is very
juxtaposition,
important
yeah.
for the rugby, as what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, oh okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I was jumping ahead a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rugby.
because that is very big, like information
Mhm.
for how Akira is able to do the things he does later in the
Yeah,
show, and
so
how he's able
that's
to
an
outrun
mhm.
yeah.
characters.
Yeah, that I love when they do subtle explanations like that. Like it's a lot of times they'll do it like beat you over the heads like I'm a rugby player, so this is why I can run fast. And like it's much
Uh-huh.
better when you can let the audience like, ah yes, he's a rugby player. That
Yeah,
explains why he's
I
so
don't think
athletic.
they've I don't think
Yeah.
they ever actually directly acknowledge that's the reason either. Which
Yeah, it's perfect. Like
anime
you were able to draw the conclusion yourself, which is how it should be.
anime sometimes does that a lot, where it will like they'll try to draw your attention. I don't know why they do it. Maybe it's like just a
It's
cultural
an issue
difference thing.
that yeah, the
Yeah,
like I said, there's spots in this show where they'll over exposit, but it's definitely not as bad as most other anime in
yeah.
that regard.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah. So and you get all the other like socializing, like where did he go to college and stuff, and I don't think any of that comes up really matters too much. But
It's a little
eventually you
bit for
get like
episode 3, but not too much.
eventually you get like oh yeah, they're all wrapped. They've all wrapped up. They're ready to go. And Kira's like about to be like, "Oh, okay, I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow." And then the guy, you get the line that really is just the pit, the drop of the mood, which is all right. Time to go back to work.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
juxtaposition of the shots back to back, like a happy like mood to like all the glasses lighting up and the key cards dropping. Like that was a really cool shot of like the switch in the workers' heads.
Yeah, and I especially like that. Akira's just like, wait, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah.
And like you get him like he's at the office and he's very confused and he looks to the other guy. He's about to like ask him, and the guy just asks, "Are you done with that?" And it's like, Not yet. 10 minutes."
What are you gonna say, Lulu?
Is this the scene where they're like all flexing like how many days they've been there without going home?
No,
That
that's
is.
later.
That is later. It's not.
I-
It's not that. What they say is, how much unpaid overtime have you got this month?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
there's
like
one
because
one of the lines I wrote in my notes is where is it? Hold on. Oh, come talk to me when you start pissing blood. That was the line I wrote in my notes.
Yeah.
yeah,
So this
Like,
is
bro,
this, and
that's a flex. Yeah.
I'd also note that Akira is noted to work in the entertainment industry. He and it's specifically mentioned making commercials. So
Yeah.
yeah, like that's what their company does. They're like an entertainment company of some
Mhm.
type. But the company basically it's revealed and never actually says it outright. But this company he's working is called in Japan a black company.
Well, they don't
Oh,
they reference
okay.
that of the exploitative
Yeah, yeah, they use
exploitative.
exploitative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exploitative.
But
Yeah, because they say that word a lot.
yeah, that's how they translate it. But a lot of the time, the way I can't pronounce the actual Japanese for it, but a lot of times it's just called a black company. That's
And
how it's been
Yeah.
translated to like Americans a lot of time.
can you elaborate on that a bit? Because I know what it means. Just like the
Yeah.
audience might not know exactly what you're referring to with that.
Yeah, so a black company is basically just an exploitative company with bad business practices. And this isn't even like what we think of as Americans. I and this is like on another level
Mhm.
because Japanese work culture is already so
Much higher than ours.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's but it's more than just that because you actually get the fact that a lot of the benefits in this company are explained. It's paid vacations,
Which they don't
personal
use.
days. Yeah, and the guy says never seen anyone use it. And so what tends to happen with these businesses is this is the very like milk toast version of a black company too. There's a lot worse stuff that
Mhm.
I've heard
Okay.
of. Uh, I think I told you guys the story in Discord before this, but one
Huh.
company I heard of where the CEO decided to write a book, and he decided all his employees should read it, so he took the price of the book out of their pay.
Funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucked up, but it's kind of
It's like
funny.
Mr. Krabs SpongeBob relationship.
Yeah, that is basically what it is.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so in Japanese work culture, and this is also important because they highlight how it's a competitive environment. Because the idea
Mhm.
is, you, a lot of the not using those benefits, it's because
Mhm.
there's a social pressure. Because
Yeah, the stigma
if
around
you,
using it.
yeah, yeah, because think about it like this. Okay, look, if I take my personal day, then all of my coworkers suddenly have to like pick up the slack. And not only that,
They'll be more
on
productive
top,
than you.
yeah. On top of that, yeah, it'll reflect better on them and worse on me because it'll be like, oh, this guy is not getting as much work done, ignoring the fact that they're using the company provided benefits, and yeah, that
Mhm.
could reflect on you in like performance evaluations and the like, or even just like I said, workplace culture. A lot of workplace bullying still exists in Japan. It's
Mhm.
very
Which leads to the very
subtle.
high suicide rate.
Yes.
Which is what I wanted to ask you
Uh,
about Rangi or Lulu, if you can answer it. When he throws that name tag in the trash, is that implying that he killed himself from the work pressure?
He might have done that. He might have quit.
Yeah, because
It
I
doesn't
was saying
tell
because
us.
this is the more nihilistic, at least to this point, it has been the most nihilistic part of the show. So I thought it was a reference to how like the pressures of Japanese
I didn't
capitalism
even
does lead
I
to a
didn't
lot of
even think
suicides.
about that.
Yeah, that's the
That's
impression I got
good.
because it like the
Yeah.
tonal shift, like from bleak to bleaker in that scene, did lead
Yeah.
me to believe he killed himself.
Oh,
I mean,
this is
yeah.
another one of those visual things too that I really
Mhm.
love in the
And then you see
show.
all the name tags in the trash can, which is a bunch of other people who also probably killed themselves. So it's
I
like,
don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was implying suicide there. I think it was implying the guy quit.
yeah, but I feel like that's too
Okay.
hopeful, though. I mean, this is the most nihilistic part of the show so
I,
far.
I well, that's the cool thing about this is it doesn't ever actually directly
Yeah, it
tell you.
allows you to take your own takeaway. Like you had a bit
Yeah.
more of a hopeful takeaway that they
'Cause
learned from their mistakes and moved on with their life, and I have a bit more bleaker take of they probably killed themselves, and they
Yeah.
got
you
no
know, it could
respect
have
for
been
it.
some or the other. It could have been
Mhm.
because uh, uh, it's one of those things where I don't feel like the boss would have talked specifically trash about the guy if he killed himself, even though the boss is a
Possibly.
horrible person. I at least don't
I
think he
think
would have done it openly in the office.
I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a bit exaggerative, so that he might have even done
Yeah,
that because of how
that's
like
true.
cartoonishly evil they're trying to paint it. Even though you said this is actually
Yeah.
pretty milk toast in comparison, so take that as you
Yeah.
will.
Oh, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
milk toast because this would still be a black company, but it
Mhm.
wouldn't be as bad as some black companies that I've
Mhm.
heard of.
And they
You,
definitely,
you know what
with
I
the worst aspects, they leave it a bit more subtle as the possible suicide, and then the well, we'll get to another part later, but go on, Lulu.
Yeah.
I was just say you know what I wrote into my notes about this company? I
Mhm.
put it's literally Amazon. It's
No,
just
actually, it's
straight up
worse than
Amazon.
Amazon.
I've
Oh
It's
heard
my
worse than
God, Lulu,
Amazon
this is your
Amazon.
is
third
like
ad.
so fucking miserable. They treat their workers like shit.
No,
And
but
still better
and
than
Uh,
Japan.
I was gonna say Amazon can't tell you to work 2 days straight without going home.
Oh yeah, that
well,
dude, that
yeah,
scene was so fucked.
US laws protect employees here. Japanese people don't have that same
Oh,
luxury.
they
So,
yeah. That there are laws to protect employees, but they Japanese companies have a lot more wiggle room around those, and
yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
not
loopholes,
as
legal loopholes.
yeah,
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 the law system in the US is a bit more
Um,
holds them to accountable. I mean,
it,
that's
it
some things more than others, but
yeah.
worker compensation and stuff
yeah.
like that is a bit more strict here than it is there.
But
Like
yeah,
the
this
proper
whole
work adherence.
yeah, but yeah, so you
Yeah.
get the he doesn't he yeah, he's stuck working there and then he fell asleep at his desk and he wakes up and he has to work the whole another all-nighter after that. And
Yeah.
then
Mhm. Like
he
it's
gets
not until
home
the
like
third
the
day
next
he
Yeah,
gets
in the
home, which is kind of
narration he
ridiculous.
says he works 2 day he clocks out 2 days after being employed. Like
It's
after his first
terrible.
day. That's crazy.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What I was gonna say is, I guess is jumping ahead a little bit, but has he not visited his home in 7 years?
It's implied, I
Oh,
think.
no.
well yeah, he
Okay,
would have
because
because he would have been in college first and then he would have
yeah, but I'm saying, but he
probably
Yeah.
said
got a
like
job.
he said I've been in Tokyo for 7 years. I don't know whether that meant like just mostly in Tokyo or if
Yeah,
he literally hasn't gone home in 7 years.
well he might have actually that comes up later in the show. I can't
Okay,
remember
so
the exact. I
all
know
right,
that
I'll save that
yeah
question until next stream if it's
yeah
not
because
directly answered. 'Cause
yeah
remember, I'm only 5 episodes in.
yeah
Yeah.
but yeah you know in Basically, it's in the next five episodes after what we're reviewing today that he goes home, and you get a lot of his home life stuff.
Okay.
Because
But he's
6,
from Gunma.
spoiler, but 6 is when they leave to go to his home, but
Okay.
they get like
Yeah.
interrupted.
I figured.
So
Yeah,
he does.
yeah.
I'm assuming he does eventually get there.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
All right. We'll guess we'll see when we get there.
But yeah, so yeah, you get a lot of that, and then it kind of moves through the 3 years, and it's interesting because he goes from what the hell, this is an exploitive company, to almost like Stockholm, into like
Yeah, he can't quit. It's
talking,
like
talking like it's like he's talking up the thing, like the health benefits thing, where the guy's like, talk to me when you start pissing blood."
Yeah.
And like the thing about the benefits, like the paid vacations and everything, and it's like never
Yeah.
seen anyone use it. And the comment about it was like a competitive environment, and you get the comment about talk to me when you how many hours of unpaid overtime do you have this month? 159. Talk to me when you get to 200.
and it's unpaid overtime, right?
It's really fucked.
Like, because I didn't catch that it was unpaid. I wasn't sure, but yeah. So unpaid overtime is what we're talking
That's
about.
crazy.
Did you guys watch the dub or the sub? Because I watched
The
the sub.
dub.
Dub.
I'm disavowing you.
I prefer to watch in dub. I mean, I'm not gonna watch in sub. I've watched some anime in sub. But like,
I'm not
It makes
against.
I'd rather not have to read.
I'm not against sub, but I do prefer watching a dub.
Same.
Yeah, well, you guys aren't anime fans, so I always view.
I've seen like 20.
The last
Yeah,
like
look,
Japanese thing I watched in sub was Godzilla -1, and that was great. Like I didn't
that
mind
is great.
reading the subtitles for that.
I think the last thing I
But yeah,
watched in
okay.
dub was
I've actually never
Attack on
watched
Titan
the
Navy.
dub. I've only ever watched the sub because that's the correct way to watch it.
Okay, you fucking
Boo.
weeb
Sub
purist. Shut
supremacist.
up.
Yeah, boo.
Go.
Get out of here. Be gone.
I see the dub as useful.
You know what? I'm
still
gonna start a
because it
vote
brings
in the
people
chat,
in.
sub or dub.
Yeah. There's
But-
a correct
even-
answer if you're American.
Yeah, yeah. It's still
Speak
sucks, 'cause
English.
dubs just suck, and they changed the wording of a lot of things. Because yeah, the wording in the subtitle is unpaid overtime. That's what it says in the subtitle.
Okay. Yeah. Another thing, because I'm a big South Park nerd, so I kept thinking of the Japanese stereotype in South Park, like the whole time I was watching the first episode. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, South Park? What?
No, it did.
Oh.
You know I've seen South Park like 5 times, so that's why I was thinking of it. But like, there's a stereotypical Japanese character, who they make a lot of like kill himself jokes.
Oh, like
that's, like, I was
kamikaze
thinking-
jokes.
Yeah, and it's like there's a Chinese Japanese like race war, but then the Chinese guy is actually a white dude with a split personality disorder where he thinks he's Chinese. It's like a whole bit. But like one of the more famous South Park episodes. I wasn't sure if you guys seen it or familiar with it.
No, but it sounds funny as fuck.
Oh, it is.
I don't recall it directly. I've watched South Park, but I haven't watched like most of South Park. If you know.
Lulu, are you familiar with South Park at all?
I've seen bits and pieces. I know like the main characters. That's about it.
Do you think Rangi sounds like Mr. Slave?
Why does everybody say that? Everybody says that.
No, wait,
do.
That's wait, which character is that?
It's he's Mr. Garrison's gay lover.
Oh. Suck my fucking balls, Mr. Garrison.
Present them.
I've always been told that on the internet. I get that all the time.
It might be your mic, honestly.
No, because I was told that before I had this mic.
Oh.
Then again, it's It's a good USB mic, but it is still a USB mic.
Yeah, I mean, everyone does sound a bit different online, so I'm sure you sound
Yeah.
less like Mr. Slave in person.
No, my
Alright,
voice sounds a lot
anyways.
softer
Anyway.
online. Yeah.
It'd be one of many tangents. And you
Yeah.
thought we'd be able to get through the whole thing in a
South
3-hour stream,
Park.
Lulu.
South Park. Anyway. So Akira goes to like, doesn't he go to Asuka's crush and she's like zombified, and that's when you realize like the apocalypse is happening?
Well, no, that's not until the very that's not until the apocalypse happens before he sees her zombified. I mean, it is gay sometimes.
Iron, look in the chat. Anime is gay. I'm gay.
You
Oh
know
my
what?
god,
Prove
someone
to me
voted
zombies
dub.
aren't gay.
Whoever voted dub, thank you. You're a god among men.
You're subhuman, but okay. See,
Okay, what
Mandrill
part of the
gets away
episode
with
are
it
we
because
in?
he's literally a monkey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well,
I gotta make
so
Iron
we're
a moderator.
yeah. So the one thing I visually like is as you get kind of just speeding through the intro stuff where it is like showing just how terrible this like the working conditions are, and like you get things where it's like you have to redo the whole thing. It's due by tomorrow morning, okay?
Yeah.
Stuff like that where it's just like it's like absurd stuff basically, but to us Americans, but it's like that is well, it's a black company in Japan, you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone appreciates my common dubs. Thank you, Lulu.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. I got you.
Oh, damn
I keep
monkey.
I keep disappearing because I'm drinking these Coors Lights. It's making me piss like a racehorse. So
Hey, I
But
mean,
yeah,
it'll matter to the plot when we talk about episode 2, okay?
yeah.
so
So
where are we at right now? Sorry,
yeah, I'm just trying to get through the introductory stuff of the black company stuff, and you
Mhm,
see
Yeah.
like his boss yelling at him, and that visual is used a lot
Yeah.
with the
mhm.
boss yelling at him and slapping and
Yeah,
smacking the
like
chest.
it
We're
gives him
talking about
like
the
literal
CEO or
Vietnam
his
cool.
direct boss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and one of the things I really like is as it goes on, and because you get this was 3 years essentially that it kind of
Mhm.
montages through. The
Yeah, it breaks
color
him down
in
over time. Yeah, the color starts to fade. Yeah,
yeah, and then he's going to deal with it's some like apartment issue in the morning of
his
the
bike. He got
apocalypse.
a parking ticket for his bike.
Yeah, so he's going to the
Yeah.
building manager to like talk to them about it, and that's when we get the first zombie that we see on screen. But
Yeah, the
that's the
CEO, right? Oh no,
no, it's
no,
not
not
the
sorry.
CEO. It's
Sorry, I jumped
it,
ahead. My bad.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the scene
it's
I
the
was
building
thinking.
manager. It's the build.
Oh
I
no,
think is it the building manager that's
yeah,
eating a
it's the
woman.
building manager eating. Yeah,
Yeah, and this is also kind of where you get flashes of color because the blood. This is a visual thing they do. The blood is like multicolored. It's not just red,
I did
yellow.
have a question
Yeah,
about that ring.
they made it
Is
look
that
like pink.
purely visual language, like imagery stuff, or is the
That is
blood
just a
actually
stylistic.
multicolored?
That
It
no,
is.
that's just a stylistic choice. That's a
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
stylistic.
I
saying.
figured.
Is it just kind of like for the audience? No, have you seen Demon Slayer?
I have. It's not very good.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm
good.
just
It's
saying.
cool visually, but
Well, no, but that's my point was that like all the fire and water animation stuff is just for us. Like that's not
yeah.
happening in the world. So I was curious: do the zombies have like multicolored blood as part of their zombie disease, or is that
No,
just like a thing for us?
as far as I know, it's never actually referenced in the story, so it's just for us.
I assumed it
Okay,
was
because
just
I
what
did want
Akira
to ask
was
you about that.
seeing.
Yeah.
Cause,
But yeah,
cause
the
like,
fact that they made
so,
Mhm.
so he says, so it's like it goes from him being depressed to realizing that he doesn't have to go to work anymore, and he's like, wow, everything's like gray and black. And then he goes, wow, I never realized how beautiful and colorful the world is. And that's when the zombies start
That's
getting
when the
like
colors, yeah.
multicolored like
Oh,
paint look to them. Yeah.
well, the blood
Uh,
had that multicolored paint look even in the first
Yeah,
yeah,
season.
but
I was about to
the
say
world is like, I mean, it's like
still
gray,
Yeah,
black
it's
and
and
still
then
white.
when
grayed
he
out.
says that,
Yeah.
it goes like it turns the saturation up like a lot. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it like
it's
yeah.
just gradually through this kind of revealing as he's running from the zombies, and then he's like,
Yeah.
he's first like, oh no, I'm gonna be late to work, and then he gets
Yeah,
outside,
that's his
and
and
then he
then
initial
gets
thought.
the
Really shows you
he
where his headspace is
stops.
at.
He stops. He's like,
yeah.
wait a minute, I don't have to go to work anymore. I'm free. And he's like
Yeah,
more
that's kinda
worried
funny.
about being late for work than the fucking zombies chasing him right now.
Yeah.
He's just like
Yeah,
And
ignoring
that's
it's like
great.
them.
that moment. Yeah, it's that moment because you get that really cool shot with like the crashing airplane,
Yeah.
and then like that's his realization. Wait, does this mean I don't have to go to work
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
anymore?
that's
like the end of the world.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate that. But before we move on more, I did want to ask, do you think it was intentional that they showed the blood being colored first before anything else? Like that they made a point to
I
like
think so.
the world was black and white, and then the first thing he saw in color was the blood. I mean, they've done that
I think so.
before and stuff like Schindler's List, but I think it was like a bit of a different
I
angle.
I think the idea is this is so striking that it stands out among this kind of gray day to
Hmm.
day grind, which I think
Yeah, yeah,
the grayed out world is supposed to represent. It's like suddenly seeing like someone dead and bleeding. It's like yeah,
like
the blood is striking visually.
mm-hmm. It's
I
the
think that's
break from
entirely intentional.
mundanity. Yeah.
Yep.
And then do you think
And
there's another layer with like the blood is like kind of the life force of like people, so like him seeing the blood kind of bring some life back into him as he's been like basically a corporate slave,
yeah,
like zombified, and now that he sees
he,
blood, like he kind of unzombifies himself ironically, you know what I mean?
yeah, basically because that's kind of the whole point of this episode almost. It's
Mhm.
the end of the world kind of freed him because
Yeah.
he's now allowed to live again instead of just
Mhm.
survive, ironically.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very cool juxtaposition between his reaction and everyone else's. They keep flipping back and forth between, which is a really cool
Yeah.
like the clashing of his worldview and lived experience of everyone else's because like I said, like he's living while everyone else is going into
You know,
survival mode where he was in survival mode and now he's living. So it's
you know
cool.
what it reminded me of? Like,
Hmm.
it reminded me of a Deadpool fourth wall break because people will be like, people will be like really over dramatic, like I can't do this, I'm gonna die. They're like sobbing, and then they see him fucking carefree, happy, laughing, skipping around, and they're just like
Yeah, he's like
so
climbing the
fucking
pole. Yeah.
confused. They're like really
Hmm.
confused, and it's like a Deadpool fourth wall break because when he talks to the fourth wall, all the other characters just see him talking to himself, so they think he's like a schizo, and so that's what it reminded me of.
That's cool. I didn't get that, but I see what you're going
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
And yeah, he's like running, and then he gets to I believe it's a rooftop, uh, where
Yeah.
he's like free, and he's like lays down, he's like looking at the sky while thinking about what to do, and
Is
Yeah.
that the
that's when
same
you get
rooftop he camps out on through like the rest of the
yeah.
Tokyo arc?
Yes, I think.
I
Well,
think it
maybe.
is. It might be.
I don't know.
It's either that one or the rooftop that he jumps onto in at the end of episode three.
Yeah.
Is it three?
Three,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, basically, because it's interesting because this is like because this is the first time he's like thought about like what does he want to do.
Mhm.
He actually has that moment where he does seem to recognize that the situation is still bad for people.
Mhm.
It's just that like right now he's also thinking about well he wants to live his life because
Yeah.
he's already lost 3 years of his
Mhm.
life to essentially
Yeah.
being a corpo
Yeah,
slave.
yeah, he
Yeah.
basically became a zombie for 3 years, and the zombie apocalypse unzombified him, which is again, I love the
Yeah.
juxtaposition of that.
Yeah, and that's when that's when he decides it's like he because he has the thought of Miss
Mhm.
Otori And so that's when he's like,
Yeah, that's why he goes to the apartment. Before we get to that, have you guys ever heard the song "Live Like You Were Dying"?
Maybe. I don't
Tim
know.
I'm not a
McGraw.
big music guy.
It's a
I don't.
country song. And so his dad was a baseball player, famous baseball player, and he was a famous country singer. But his dad got brain cancer, and he basically he started doing all this stuff. Like he rode a bull, he went skydiving, right? Like he like forgave all like the people who scorned him over the years, like repaired broken bridges. So like it took
Right.
him getting like brain cancer to like truly live life to the fullest. And like he told his son,
Wow.
"I hope you can like find a way to live like you were dying." So like
Oh,
I think about that
that's
song a
that's
lot while
very
watching this
that's
show.
very fitting to the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we see him, and I really like the animation, and especially in this episode, I think this is where the animators were really showcasing their chops, so to speak, with the animation and like the
Mhm.
visual stuff. Uh, but yeah, you get him like going to the apartment, and when he gets there, there's his zombified boss.
Yeah,
His zombified
that's the
Yeah.
boss.
CEO, not the like
Yeah,
direct
yeah,
boss.
that's the manager or whatever. Or not
Well,
the manager,
he
the CEO.
he is
Yeah,
the CEO, yeah.
yeah, because she was the CEO's
Side chick.
mistress. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was such like a tonal shift of like her flirting with him to going to like hook up with the boss like on the window, like right in front of Tendo. Like I'm like, oh my god, poor kid. Like, oh, I'm falling for her. Seconds later, you hear moaning from the office.
Yeah. That was fucked
yeah,
up, but funny.
Hmm. Yeah, I laughed too, but it's so sad. Poor guy.
yeah, and that. But yeah, basic. So at least in the dub, I don't know what they do in the dub, but in the sub, it's basically him like giving this dramatic speech of basically quitting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Uh,
does that as well in the
yeah,
dub.
And then he
and he
thanks him
basically
too, which is.
yeah, and then he tackles the CEO out of the building.
Did you catch that he
Yeah,
thanks him too
he
for the
like
work
he
experience? Like that's
throws
such a
him off a
Japanese thing.
he
It is a
throws him off the
very
side of the
Japanese.
fucking building, and it the POV from the ground makes it look like he got thrown out of a goddamn skyscraper. It
Well, I
was like
think
Oh
so
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, he was
funny.
pretty high up. Those apartment buildings are pretty tall in Tokyo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those
in
apartment
Japan,
buildings are
yeah.
massive. Yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, so she, he falls, goes flying out of the building, and then he sees his crush already zombified.
I thought she was
Yeah.
turning into a zombie as she
I
saw him.
think
Was
she
she
was
already a
kind
zombie?
of. Uh, she either was actively turning or
I think it
she
was at
was
the end
already
of the
zombified.
transformation process, is what I
Yeah,
gathered.
that's kind of the
Yeah.
implication I got. Also, it's weird the zombification. This is probably one of my few like I guess writing problems with this is the zombification process in the show seems very it's
Inconsistent.
yeah, which is a normal thing for zombie stuff to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very like Lulu. You're the zombie expert. Like you've probably
Yeah,
seen a lot
like
of zombie
so
like, media.
Walking Dead season 1, they're like it takes well actually maybe Walking Dead is consistent because they said like in the first season they have a scientist who works for the CDC, and he's the one that
Oh, I
tells them
forgot
like the
about the
virus is airborne, and he
Mhm.
says it could take anywhere between 2 minutes and 1 hour for someone to become a zombie. And they kind of
They covered
do
their base with
like
that.
what?
So they covered their base with that, like saying there was like a
Yeah.
window rather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they say it could be like a number of time. And for the most part
Yeah.
I think
Walking
it has to
Dead does
deal.
stick to that. So,
I think it has to do
Yeah.
with where they're bitten too. Like that's probably a part of it. Like how close to the
um
brain it is to bite.
yeah, like if it's I don't know. I don't know. If you're
Like
like
I'm sure if you
bitten
got bit on
like
the ankle, which we'll get to later.
yeah, if you're bitten on like the ankle or the hand, you can stop the infection by like, chopping off your hand and shit. But
Yeah,
so it is slower to some extent, I think. Oh.
yeah, because it takes time for the blood to reach your heart and brain.
There are a lot of versions of zombie movies where it's instant. 28 Days Later,
Yeah.
Train to Busan, that shit is like the
Yeah,
second you get
Train to
infected, you're a
Busan is within a
zombie.
few
Like that's it.
minutes.
Was World War Z
Maybe
the same
maybe
way?
10 minutes at 10 to like 15 minutes at most for Train to Busan. Yeah.
Yeah. Because in 28 Days Later, there's a spoiler. The dad of like
I know. I've seen
the
the
main
movie. I've seen the
character,
movie.
yeah,
I've not.
he's out scouting an area like to make sure it's safe for all the other people, and a
Yeah, and then the
crow,
blood drips down
yeah, a
from
crow drops
into his eye.
a drop of blood into his eye, and he can only get one sentence in before he changes into a zombie. So like
Oh, damn.
some of the movies like that is just instant, and it seems like this kind of was reflecting that, where it's like kind of instant. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems to at the very least be a relatively short window.
Well, no, not
yeah.
necessarily, because the guy in
Well,
episode 4 who got bit on the ankle, it takes him
that's
hours.
where it's
Yeah.
yeah. That and episode 5 as well with the guy on the bus.
hmm Yeah, so I think it does matter where you get bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems to be take a lot of and I think the fact they never like give you direct details probably helps because at least
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
contradicting
because
anything.
they can like make you ignore it.
Play
Like they
around with
make
a
you
little
like
bit.
not
Yeah.
care. It's not that important
Yeah,
to the story, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's nice
yeah.
to
So
have internal consistency. Like I like that kind of stuff, but they haven't really been too bad with it to like where it's distracting. Yeah, it's a little inconsistent, but like it's not like glaringly so.
yeah, and
oh,
but yeah, that's
oh,
Hmm?
you
oh,
guys are talking about how
I was
long it
gonna say.
takes after you get bit. I was thinking like how long after you die.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh,
I meant.
But
Well, it seems to be the change. It's not like you
so
die and then the change happens. It's like you change and you're basically a zombie, and
well,
whether you
yeah,
die
but
or not.
I mean the first 5 episodes we don't know whether if you die you just become a zombie, right?
yeah,
Like,
I think it's implied that it's only like if you're bit. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just that the bites turn people so
Yeah.
fast.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like in The Walking Dead, it's like they all have it. So as soon as you die, you become a
Yeah.
zombie. Whereas like in
Yep.
this, I don't know if that's a direct, if something may be implied, but there's definitely no direct statement in the first 5 episodes that confirms that.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah. He basically confesses to her, even though she's dead, and then he runs away because,
Yeah,
well,
he doesn't
Yeah.
want to kill his first love.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
wonder if that comes back up later.
I believe the episode ends with him like resolving to like make the list. That's when the
Yeah, that's
list
when he starts
starts.
No,
writing the
yes,
list.
very
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
that's the
the
very end
end
of
of
the
episode
episode.
1.
So,
Oh, by the
So
way,
the
what's the name of episode 1? Because 2 is
oh, it's
called
Akira.
Akira of the Dead. Yeah,
okay, 2 is called Bucket List of the Dead. So I
yeah,
knew
which is the
that.
name of the show, right?
Which is the subtitle of the show. Yeah. So
Yeah.
2 is where
Yeah, he
he's
said the
resolved
thing. He said
to
the
make
thing.
the
Roll the credits, roll the
It's
credit.
what's his name? Ryan George, right? He does that joke
Yeah.
yes,
from
he does say
pitch meetings. Yeah. Oh my God, that's the name of the movie.
yeah. All right. You guys want to move into episode 2 while I go real quick just go get a
Oh,
drink.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
you guys
While
know
you're doing
this.
that, hmm?
Uh,
No, go on.
I was saying,
I can
you
hear you
guys
guys.
know
So.
this, but for the chat, I just want to put this on the live stream because I think it's funny. The show literally opens with the main character pulling an all-nighter, and he's like depressed and sleep deprived. And literally yesterday, I stayed up like more than 24 hours to fix my well, I didn't do it successfully. I did not fix my sleep schedule, but I was trying to, and I was like so sleep deprived, and I was like watching the show, taking notes, like falling asleep at my desk, and I found it so fucking funny that the show opened with literally how I was feeling in that moment, and it was just really ironic. So that's it. That's all. That's all I was gonna say.
How come the mute stream is a symbols appearing on Rangi but not me?
Um. Oh, it's because it's covered by the desk. Whereas, because you're behind the desk, so it covers your mute button, but you're grayed out. So I think it's pretty easy to assume that you're muted.
Okay, so I just want to make sure it was actually muting when I leave.
Yeah.
Is like
Yeah, it
okay.
is. It just the laptop is blocking it. That's why.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, while we're before we go to episode 2, while we're waiting for Rangy, I'll just go through some of my other notes. I really like the line, there's never enough time to do everything we want. I'm like, I literally wrote true in my notes. Like that's like such a like relatable
Yeah.
line. Like I feel like
That's
I
a
never
good.
have enough time to do everything.
I've noticed every episode has a moral to it, and
Mm-hmm.
I
He's a
like
very
the
relatable
moral.
character.
Yeah, this is skipping far ahead, but the moral of um. Oh, hold on, hold on. The moral of 5, I really
Mm-hmm.
loved because it reflected it reflected like my
Being
favorite
hero
video
just for
game
being.
quote.
Mhm.
What?
Which video game?
Um, this is gonna sound cringe, but Final Fantasy 9, and the main
Okay.
character, his whole thing is you don't need a reason to help people, and that's like the moral of episode 5. And I was just like, I love that that was like a quote in the like in the show, and
Yeah.
so yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and we'll get to the conversation of the Ice Queen later.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was an ice cold bitch, but I'm sure that will change as the show progresses. Um, yeah, so there's that. Let's see what else. Some because I've been trying to check off like my notes as we say them because I have them like bullet pointed, but some of it is like hard to remember if we said or not. 'Cause, like we talked about how he like confessed his love for her, right? Like we did that already. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happens. Um,
I'm back.
Frankie, did you
Also,
watch Naruto?
I've watched a good bit of it. I never watched it fully because, well, Naruto really frustrated me after
The
a while
pacing's
in
pretty bad.
Shippuden. Yeah, no, Shippuden is what kind of kept me out of it because
Did,
it's just
did you
I
at
got
least watch
so
up to the pain arc?
no. I
Oh,
stopped
come
after.
on.
I stopped when Gara was or when they finally got Gara back.
Wow, you barely gave it a shot then.
You
That's
said
like the
barely gave
first
it a
arc. That's the first arc of
It's
Shippuden.
like that's like 30 episodes in.
It's
damn.
like 18. Anyway, he says what a drag, which reminds me of Shikamaru, who was my favorite character
Oh
from
yeah,
that show.
that is what.
Nice.
I don't remember if that's. But yeah, Naruto. The problem is the power scaling. But anyway.
Well, you didn't even get to that. You can't complain about that.
What do you mean? They break it in the first series.
You have no idea how much worse it gets.
Oh,
Like it's
I
like
know.
yeah,
No,
I know
it's funny.
you know, but you didn't watch it happen.
That's the funny thing. Shippuden repairs the power scaling just to break it again.
Oh, and it breaks it so much worse. It's not even close. Like that's why I was wondering if you watch up to the pain arc, because that's where a lot of people agree the series should have ended, but then it kept going.
Oh, I have something in my notes about the first episode. Well, actually, technically, second episode, but it's like every episode. I said I really like the intro sequence, and I don't know if
Oh, yeah,
this is I don't know if this applies to every anime, but the intro is like a recap of the previous episode, which is really cool.
that's a lot of them.
So
That's not all anime, but
okay.
a lot
It's
of
not
anime do.
uncommon.
I didn't know if a lot of them
Yeah.
did that or that was unique to this show.
I've seen it.
So
I've seen it before.
okay.
Yeah, it's not universal, but it is pretty common.
Okay.
As far as the second episode goes,
The outro is also so. I really like the outro song.
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny because usually one or the other is absolute trash, and the
I
other one
agree.
is good. Is a bang. And
Yeah,
it's
but
usually the
both of
intro
these are
that's a
pretty good.
banger. Yeah,
As
the
usually,
intro is
and once in a
usually
while the outro is better than the intro, but they're both good in this case.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the second episode, we start with Akira waking up back in his apartment the next day, and he actually takes the time to clean up. And we saw his apartment in the first episode
With all the trash.
when he was watching the movie, and it was like, yeah, it looked like Asmongold's room.
Oh yeah, it's funny.
That's been
Which is
Gold's room
also
is crazy.
The very first thing you get though is a nightmare of the job, which is funny that he's getting nightmares of the job and not the zombie apocalypse that's
Yeah.
currently going
Yeah, I
on.
wrote in my
which I
notes,
thought was-
bro's really getting Vietnam flashbacks from his job and not the end of the world going on right now.
Yeah. hmm Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, is this episode? This is the episode I have the most notes for.
Yeah,
I'm
beer,
really excited to talk about this
beer.
episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to
Beer
that
episode.
as I'm drinking my Coors Light. But
Oh my
what was I
god,
saying?
Devin, you watched Dub? You're like an anime purist. I'm actually surprised. Sorry, taking a chat.
Oh,
Oh.
you watched dub,
Well,
right?
he's clearly not.
Wait, did you say dub or sub?
Dub.
Uh,
My
Yeah,
friend.
Yeah,
I'm playing up, but I was saying before, I view the dub as a good way to bring people in who are not yet into anime,
Yeah.
and then eventually
Is there-
most people do veer into.
Is there any
sub.
anime where you prefer the dub or no?
There is one. There's
Cowboy
one.
Bebop, would that be it?
No,
That's usually
Black Lagoon.
okay.
Black
So a lot of
Lagoon.
people,
I've heard, like-
will say that the Cowboy Bebop dub is better than the sub.
But Black Lagoon, one of the characters in the sub speaks English, but the Japanese voice actor clearly can't speak English, and so it annoys
Yeah.
the fuck out of me.
It's like Squid Games where it's like the really bad
Yeah.
English.
But this is one of
I
the
didn't
main
mind-
characters.
It like Squid Game. I watched the dub. It wasn't that bad. It was just like the dub was a little
I
like
watched sub for Squid
out of
Games.
sync with their voices, and it was a little weird.
Yeah,
so-
I can do dub for non-anime, but if I can avoid it, I will, because at least with animation they'll redo the mouth movements to match the English speaking, whereas in
It's
live action
never
it just
right.
doesn't match their lips, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, it's never right. That's a lot of it. I'm not as much of a purist as other people, because I know people who would
Oh yeah, there's
just
people
full
that are
on
worse.
spurg out over like hearing you guys did the dub. I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
I've seen I don't know, I haven't watched the show yet, but it's on my next anime to watch list. Death Note. I've been
That's
like
very good.
I love the concept
some
of
of
Death
it
Note.
is.
I just never seen it, and I'm really excited to watch it and review it and whatever. It seems
Isn't it a
like
shame?
what?
Oh, I was just gonna make a joke. I was saying, Ryan, isn't it a shame they only got halfway through the show? Like, they ended it halfway through. It's just a shame. I was really looking forward to what happens after the first half of the show, but I guess we'll never know.
Don't say it.
What?
Don't
Is
say
it-
it.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. It's
Because-
just
I've
Is
heard
it
good
because
things
like
about
the
Solo
main
Leveling.
character dies and they bring in someone else?
not exactly. You'll see.
no,
You're
okay.
not too far off.
Because I
but
thought
you'll,
that
you'll
was
see.
what it
It's-
was. But what I was
No,
gonna
I mean,
say,
it's similar, but the second
Okay.
half is much weaker than the first half.
Either
actually
way,
usually
we're
don't
only
rewatch
like
the second half.
we're only like 20 seconds into the second episode, so let's
Oh,
continue.
dude, yeah,
No,
dude,
no,
remember
wait,
Lewis
let me
thought
finish
we'd
my
be able
thought,
to
let
get
me
all
finish my
12
thought.
episodes in 3 hours? Oh, sorry.
sorry. What I was gonna say is that it seems to be like, at least from what I've seen on the internet and like TikTok and shit, is that people actually prefer the dub of Death Note because the voice actors for that are like fucking insane. Like they like really give it
No,
their
that's
all,
wrong.
especially whoever plays Light is just like
I-
gives like an
oh.
insane performance.
Oh, he does a good job,
Actually,
but the sub is better.
So you know how I said Black Lagoon was the one I preferred the dub for? Same voice actor for Light plays the main character.
Okay.
Rock, if I remember. Correctly.
Death Note is one of the few show. I mean, there's like 5 animes I've watched in both sub and dub, and Death Note I actually do prefer in sub over dub. So I will.
I-
Okay.
I've heard an argument, and to be fair, Death Note was one I watched back when I watched dubs. That's why I can't shame people too much, especially like people who are casuals or just not anime fans.
Yeah, me.
No, the dub is good for Death Note, but I really did like the sub.
Yeah. You
Like,
like
Cowboy
this guy.
Bebop
Wait,
is one-
wait. Is
Sorry, I
this
was gonna
guy
say
Iron or me?
What?
Devin said, "I like this guy. Death Note is gay. Is this guy Iron or me?"
I don't know who he's talking about. That's funny though. Probably
He
you.
might be talking
Ah,
about my stuff.
Oh, fuck.
Is he talking about him? Is
I,
he saying he
I
likes
think he's
himself?
being a schizo. Talking to himself. I don't know. Anyways, episode 2. Episode 2.
Oh, so
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you like yourself because Death Note is gay? Oh, okay. I thought
I
that.
don't know what he's talking about.
Pay
Yeah.
no mind to the schizo rambling in the corner.
Nah, we appreciate the schizo ramblings in chat. I
Yeah.
mean, there's
We
nothing else
do.
going on in there, so he might as well talk to himself.
It's all engagement, right?
There's
It's all
like wait,
engagement.
it says there's
Yeah,
5
but
people watching. He's the only one talking.
well, aren't we 3 of them?
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
The rest
No,
are just shy.
he's calling you out. He's calling you out,
Yeah.
Lucas.
Wait, what do you say?
He just said
Solo
Lucas.
leveling,
Solo
like
leveling?
I said,
What the fuck is that?
I know what that is. It's another anime. I believe is solo leveling. It's an isekai, right? Like I said, I've heard
Oh,
decent
isekai,
things
yeah.
about it. My brother's been bugging me to watch it.
But yes, Cowboy Bebop, dub over sub any day. The dub is so much better than the sub.
Oh, is it not? Okay. Like I said, I haven't watched it. It's on my list.
What's his name? How am I drawing a blank? Steve Blum does Spike, and Steve Blum is just probably the best voice actor
I
in my opinion.
love
Yeah.
Steve
of Americans.
Blum. He's Tank
Oh,
so
Dempsey.
good.
Yeah,
Dempsey.
but I'm gonna try and like just steer us back towards the topic.
Oh yeah,
All right,
yeah.
episode
we-
2.
We've
Episode
been
2.
doing a lot of tangents. I said I would do that role, but I've been doing a terrible job. It's probably 'cause I'm drinking.
I wrote in my notes that I fucking love how he doesn't think for a second he might need supplies to live. He's like, nah, I need more beer. Bro got his priorities
So
straight.
based, unfathomably
Based.
based. I have so many
Based.
notes about it. Dude, it's like being out of beer is his biggest concern. I wrote based, so based, unfathomably based in all caps. Like I was so happy about that.
That's not even the
Like
funniest
finally
part
a
about
relatable anime character.
Dude, day drinking
you
is
get him-
based. Like never a bad time to have a beer. It's like all he wants to do is day drink. I'm like, yes, perfect. Literally me.
You also have to remember, this guy hasn't had a day off in 3 years.
Oh, I
working
know,
all-nighters and shit.
Dude, I
Basically,
literally. Yeah, go on.
basically, anyone who has a job, imagine your busiest season, probably double how much your work hours for that season, and then extend it by 3 years.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
basically what
Real.
this guy's doing.
Yeah. Dude, I wrote in my notes he's literally me for real after he like goes on the whole like thing talking about like how beer is like the nectar of the gods and all
Oh
that.
my
Like,
God.
oh my god.
I wrote in my
dude.
notes, when he's bicycling to the grocery store, he literally says, I'd rather be eaten by zombies than go another second without a cold one. Bruh.
I wrote that too.
Bruh.
Yes.
Well,
Dude,
what I love is actually before you get to the bicycle when he's climbing down the pipe, you get this like super dramatic scene with the couple
All the
downstairs.
neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, with the neighbors where they're just
Yeah,
like,
a lot of great juxtaposition this show.
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, oh, if we could just hold out, one more day. I'm sure we could get through. Like they're having this like super dramatic scene, and then they
see him climbing a pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, they see him climbing down. They're like, "Wait, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, the
It's just
comedic
like,
timing
"Hey,
of
I'm
that scene
going on a
was
beer
so
run."
good.
The
It's so
stairwell
good.
was full of zombies. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys need anything, by the way?
But yeah. Yeah, that was
It's so much fun. The juxtaposition, and then just the fact he
Mhm.
basically shocked them out of their like hyper dramatic moment.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we'll take some water and like they asked for a couple other supplies, but yeah.
Am I still connected? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
You're good.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're good, bro.
Hmm.
not
Can
hear
you hear
us?
us?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Hello?
Ranky. You get
Did I
my
cut out there?
No.
I was wondering if you guys are both silent. I was like, did I cut
No,
out?
we're talking.
No, we were talking. I don't know.
Oh no! You guys cut out for me. That's why.
Oh yeah, that was a you thing. No, we were still talking. You
I was
you sound like
confused.
you're
I was like,
rambling.
Hello.
the zombies got me. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I said is rewards himself with a beer. That's like all he wants after 3 years. I wrote based with like all caps with
Based.
exclamation mark. I wrote
think
based like 8 times during the beer segment.
That is the funny thing. As much as he doesn't have his priorities in order, you could argue. Though actually, I think he also
they'll get into that though. What really is
priorities
about living or surviving? Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. That especially Lulu. Episodes 6 and 7. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. You guys can talk more about that when I leave.
Yeah, I'll just vaguely say it ties very much into this theme, and I think it is a main theme of the show. I'd argue.
Yeah, because you guys will. Who knows? Like, because I'm leaving in an hour, but like we're only on episode 2.
Yeah.
And we should probably finish this because this is one of the more content dense ones. Yeah. But yeah, he shocks the couple out of their like dramatic,
scene. Yeah. A dramatic monologue.
But of the 5 episodes, this was my favorite episode.
Oh really? That was not my favorite.
What was your favorite? The first 5?
4, I think. Yeah, 4.
That was a good one. I mean, all of them but 3, I think, were a contender for best episode.
I think my favorite is 7.
Well, of the first 5.
Yeah.
3 was like
the first 5.
I put this in the Discord. 3 was like the wholesome like break episode. So
yeah, it wasn't
like,
bad.
simple.
It was a nice like upbeat episode, even more so than the others.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about that when we get to 3. We're still on.
So
come on.
What was your favorite? The first 5.
We're introduced to a mysterious scientific.
Hold on, I want to get Rangi's answer real quick.
Oh, nope. Okay. But
you said 7 when I said what was your favorite episode? The first 5.
Oh, so the first 5. The first 5. It has to be 1 or 2. It has to be 1 or 2. I don't know. I think 1,
2, or
honestly,
4. I think are the 3 best. Of the first 5.
1 the best visual like.
Oh, 1's visuals were Jeff's kiss.
And it also it really does sell kind of that's the one I think that really. Just seeing the juxtaposition and all the like visual cues, clues to what's going on. It's like I said, if you're a fan of animation, 1 is just full on eye candy. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
But yeah. Continuing on through episode 2, yeah, we are introduced to a woman who Okay, so. What are your thoughts on this? Actually, all of us know her name, Shizuku.
Yeah. I don't.
Is it Shizuku or Shizuka?
I don't.
I always forget.
What are your guys'
Shizuka.
Wait, I'll wait for Iron to come back to Essos.
Yep. Fuck him. He's just a monkey. Who cares?
Yeah. Fuck that monkey.
Oh, wait, racism. No, don't fuck the monkey. That's wrong.
Dear YouTube.com, please do not sue me and take my kids. I did not mean to call him a monkey. That was an accident. I swear to God.
You should totally sue him. It would be funny.
Nuh-uh. Is Iron back? What the fuck? He's taking a long ass.
He's muted. Well, I guess you and I can talk about our positions, and then we can prompt him when he's back. Okay. That way, this is at least being efficient that way. So, what are your thoughts on Shizuka, the girl?
Well, I was gonna wait till Iron get back to tell my thoughts. So you go first.
We calling a monkey.
Hey, what the? You didn't hear shit.
Who do you think we're calling a monkey? Monkey?
What? He's right. This guy's racist. He hates
Mods
black people.
ban him immediately.
What are your guys' knowledge on Resident Evil?
I've never seen it, played it.
Yeah,
know
I know
nothing
it's a
about it.
video game series. I have it queued up to play on my channel eventually. I've never actually. Well, I've played a Resident Evil game, but I've
Okay.
never actually played
Do you
that
guys
much.
know? Do you
I
guys
know
know the
virtually nothing.
character Ada Wong?
No.
Okay,
I'm
so
vaguely familiar. I've seen artwork
she's
of her.
introduced in Resident Evil 2. She's basically this mysterious woman, and she has the same personality as the girl in the show, where she's like um
A
hunting
total
the
bitch.
person. Yeah, basically. She doesn't want help from anyone, and she doesn't want to help anyone, and she's like kind of on her own mission, and she's like, nothing will get in the way of my mission. And she's like, she ends up helping like the main villain of the video game series because she thinks he's doing the right thing. And she like betrays Leon Kennedy, even though she like kind of like loves him, because she thinks she's doing like, she thinks she's like serving the greater good. And I kind of got that vibe from her, where she's like, she's isolated, doesn't give a fuck about other people, and she's like, I'm gonna sit here and complete my mission no matter what, no matter how long it takes. Fuck people who get in my way. That's kind of the line I was drawing, like, between them. So yeah,
I could see that, but
same
I
personality,
don't know
basically.
any context. But yeah,
Yeah.
from how you explained it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to say before we move too far on, this was the last episode he got like work flashbacks, right? Like nightmare.
Until later,
No.
yeah.
I was gonna
Okay,
say no, it's not. But you have
6 and 7, 6 and 7. But
Okay, well,
until then,
I guess
yeah.
this makes my point less relevant then. But of the first 5 episodes, I noticed how after he cleaned his trash out, like it was like getting rid of the baggage of work, and he doesn't have any more nightmares about
Yeah.
it. But I guess that the fact that it comes back,
It is.
Yeah.
There's a specific reason it comes back.
Okay,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
anymore.
But I did like the visual language of him literally like getting rid of his baggage with actual baggage, which I thought was on the
Yeah,
nose but
that
funny.
was smart. That was smart.
Yeah. But my thoughts on Shizuka. Actually, wait, Iron. Your thoughts are just that she's a cold bitch. Is that it?
No, I mean that's the oversimplification.
that
It's
sums
just
it
the
up.
talking down she gives to him in episode 5 is like, "Damn, you're ice cold." Like
Yeah.
the ice queen kind of like monologue because
Yeah,
I mean it's more for
Ooh.
and
Well,
we'll
her
get
best
to it,
moments
but
are episode. Her best moments are in episode 7.
well,
we
I
get-
figured she's going to get
we'll get
more
to it, but
characterization in the learning arc, but like, and I'm sure the two characters with their polar opposite like worldviews will rub off on each other, right? She'll make him
Yeah.
more responsible, and he'll make her enjoy life more. I'm sure that's where they're going with it. But
Yeah.
like I said, the juxtaposition in the show is beautiful. Like from the visual language to the opposing characters' moral views.
No.
There's a lot of cool juxtaposition in this show.
So Shizuka is probably it's between her and another character that isn't in these 7 episodes. For my favorite character, and the other characters mostly just because I identify with them, and I say that as a meme because anyone who's watched the show knows who I'm talking about. I'll just say the German girl, and they'll know.
Is she blonde?
She is blonde. She's in the
She
intro.
is in the intro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I
basically,
mean,
I'm not gonna say
Tendo is,
anything more about her, but I'm sure anyone who's watched the show would know what that.
I mean, Tendo is the most relatable character for me, but I'm sure he was written that way on purpose, right? Like he's supposed to be
Yeah.
super relatable, like kind of your everyman kind of guy.
For sure.
Where are we again in the episode?
But yeah, we're at her like introduction where we
that's what
run into her. But can I giving my thoughts just very briefly, as you said, Iron? Yeah, she kind of represents she is kind of there to represent like almost kind of a counter viewpoint essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's all about the what he wants to do, living in the moment sort of idealism. She's like, okay, what needs to be done? Where's the practical thing? What's the most practical? And
I
I
mean, the
think
best way to
the
Sorry, I was gonna say
yeah,
before you go on, I think the best way to summarize that is the different namings of their 100 list, right? Like his 100 list is 100 ways to like enjoy, like 100 things I want to do before I become a zombie, like a bucket list to enjoy life. Hers is 100
Yeah.
ways to avoid becoming a zombie, which is like the 100
Yeah.
most efficient ways to survive. So like it kind of like the naming of their bucket list or objective list is kind of summarizes their character very neatly.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Ryan. I just didn't want to forget that point.
Mm-hmm. Rangi,
yeah, sorry.
go ahead.
But yeah, basically what you said is basically what I was gonna say. So I don't think I need to add. Yeah, they represent very different viewpoints, and also, she kind of adds is a grounding character. Then he encounters her. He she sees that he's here to grab beer, and I think rightfully, if for somebody who's very pragmatic, is like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Oh, did I cut out
Yeah.
again?
Um, the stream is like buffering a lot. I think my internet's just shit, probably. That might be what it
Ah,
is. God damn it.
you need to whip your the hamster that runs your internet better.
The problem is I don't have an Ethernet cable. I had to give someone mine, so I'm just running off
Ah,
of great Wi-Fi, and it's dog shit.
I'm running off Wi-Fi,
Uh,
but my Wi-Fi is generally good. Uh, outside of like a few like hiccups, you know.
uh,
The
Hopefully,
problem with
when
that,
the stream is run back, hopefully it'll be smooth through this part and not laggy or like.
Oh, did the
Okay,
stream cut
I don't
out?
care if the visual is laggy, as long as the stream can hear us when it's
yeah,
buffering, that's fine. Honestly.
Did the stream cut out?
A little bit, yeah. It's going up and down.
yeah,
It's good right
it's.
now though.
I'm listening to the stream now. It sounds like it's fine.
If the visual is laggy, whatever, but audio good, then that's fine. We could probably
Yeah,
move on to
we
episode
don't we
3.
aren't
Like,
roboting or anything.
okay, good.
Yeah, we
We could
aren't
probably move
roboting
on
or
to episode
anything.
3. Episode 2 didn't really have that much shit besides her.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that
no,
and beer. That's it.
I was gonna say, yeah. So episode 2 is more introduction to Shizuku.
Yeah.
That's why I think our episode 2 like thing it should just be on what we see of her. Because yeah,
Yeah.
he encounters her. They talk very briefly. Then the zombies show up. She saves his life, and then the truck rams into the store, and they both go their separate ways. And then we got cut
Yeah.
to her perspective.
I like the POV differences between the two scenes from his point of view and her point of view. Another cool
Yeah.
juxtaposition.
Yeah, because you get her like
Yeah.
in her monologue too, where it's like, "Oh, there's a truck coming this way. Oh, well that might be useful." And then you kind of see her because she's not really a scientist as much as she's very much an analytical character.
Yeah.
Uh, and you actually get her backstory later, Iron, but you didn't. You
Yeah.
haven't made it to those episodes.
Yeah, and 6 and 7. You get her backstory.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll probably talk about that when we get to those episodes. Yeah. But yeah, basically we get the two go their separate ways, and we find out the couple died while he was out. And with Shizuka, we learn she has a separate list that's like 100 ways ways to not become a zombie or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or 100 things to do to not become a zombie.
100 ways to avoid becoming a zombie. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we basically just kind of learn who she is as a character, and which is this very analytical character who's very specific about what they do. She's like to the point where she's like watched a lot of these like movies, and she talks about like needing data to kind of understand the zombies, and you even get her kind of analyzing the zombies from where she is in her like apartment, where
Yeah,
she's
she
like,
starts writing down like there's fast ones, there's slow ones, there's this kind, and like taking notes on what they do and like if they can die, and yeah, so
yeah, and another thing that I remember is I think this is probably the only other thing worth talking about is the what was it, was it like Sakura Mochi or something like that she
Yeah,
had
you
in the
get your
store.
yeah, you get your first instance of him rubbing off on her where she regrets not taking the pastry.
Yeah,
yeah.
because she was, because she had the look like, no, I can't afford like
Sugar intake.
basically, yeah, higher sugar intake. Uh, it's very silly given it's like one item, but it's very clear how her mentality is. It's hyper, well, autistic. I'll just say. I,
Autism.
Yeah, it's very much like she's very much an absolutist when it comes to her like pragmatism,
Yeah.
and I think that's why, yeah,
Yeah.
Iron said it. It's
If it
the
if
first
it
instance
doesn't
of him rubbing off on her.
if it doesn't benefit her survival in some way, she doesn't need it or want it. So,
Yeah, well, she definitely wants it. That's why she
but
pauses in the
yeah.
store.
Yeah,
But
like
her mentality is
she forces
needs,
herself
not wants.
to decline. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, and Lulu, you know, her mentality is very much focused on need. Very important language for. I don't know if actually
Yeah.
that language works for the dub, but it's in the sub. That's very important language.
Yeah.
I think it translates to the dub as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah,
All right.
we can move on to episode 3
Yeah.
because this is kind of the bro episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, this will.
buddy.
I think this will be the quickest discussion of the 5 episodes. I have the
Yeah, this
least to
one's
say about
short
this
and straight
episode.
to the point. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and it's very clear what like sort of because we're going through different sort of regrets with Akira in these
Oh,
first like
Yeah.
few
one
episodes.
last thing is the beer is called Enjoy Your Life beer, so that I thought that
Oh
was
my
Yes,
fun.
god. That's awesome.
it's a little on the
I
nose,
never
but you know
noticed
what? I
that.
love
That's
it.
It is.
cool.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. I
It
mean,
is called that. I did notice that. I just never like. I was wondering if that was like a slogan for like a specific beer company. Sometimes anime does that. A lot of what a lot of anime does is it'll like take like actual brands and they'll just slightly change the name. So a good example
Yeah.
that you'll see in multiple different anime is you'll see there's a franchise in a lot of different anime called WickDonald's.
Oh my
mm,
god. That's
It
hilarious.
yeah, you'll see it in like a lot of different anime, and it's like obvious what it is, but it's like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing, and I know why you're doing it.
mm.
But yeah, so I wasn't sure if maybe it was a brand slogan or not, but either way, it's very thematic, and it very much fits kind of
Yeah. Regardless of
with
the
what they're
reasoning,
going for
it
theme.
was thematic. It was chosen for thematic reasons.
Yeah.
Definitely. Uh, but yeah, so episode 3
Uh,
is he's got like Wi-Fi back essentially, and he's like going
Yeah.
through his messages. That's how it
Yeah,
kind of starts.
he says that, "Oh, now I can hang out with all my friends that I neglected the last 3 years." And then he has the realization that they're all fucking dead. Um except miraculously his best friend from college, who is still alive and trapped in a sex dungeon.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, he's trapped in some sort of like I don't know if it's supposed to be a love motel, a love hotel, or what,
Is
because
that
that's an actual
is that a
business in
common thing
Japan.
in Japan?
Somewhat. It's not just Japan; it's Asia in general.
Okay.
There are love hotels in Korea too. I know
Uh,
that.
uh,
Uh, uh, but also we get why, because it's Shinjuku. Shinjuku is a pleasure district in Tokyo.
okay.
So Shinjuku is like a nightlife district, and these love motels are
Did you mean
basically
red light?
uh
You said nightlife. I think you meant red light.
Yeah, I
both
think it's red
really.
light, but well, whatever. We know what you meant.
It's yeah, like I said, it's both. It's
Yeah.
nightlife and red light district of Tokyo. It's very but basically what a love hotel is essentially a pay by the hour motel, but they're like
Yeah.
specifically themed and stocked for what you know what they're for. It's like it's a more
Yeah.
honest pay by the hour motel. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
and he's trapped specifically because he says this, at least in the dub. He's trapped specifically in the BDSM room.
Yeah. That's why I said sex dungeon.
Yep.
um. Yeah. So Akira rushes over there, saves him, and apologizes to him because he feels guilty for ruining their friendship basically.
That
And
was
Well,
the last time we talked, right? It was a year ago.
we also get a few
yeah.
other things in this episode. For example, so one of the things we get is the little like subplot, I guess you could say, with the host club and all the
Uh,
what all yeah I assume I don't need to explain what a host club is, right?
huh? I'm so confused.
Okay. You know, you see all those like pretty boys as like the subplot in this episode, and they're like
Yeah.
fighting to like
I
protect a store.
I don't remember.
The blonde guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, his name
Uh,
is Show, right? Show.
is show yes. Yeah. It's kind of like this like very minor subplot that doesn't really intersect with things. I'm not gonna. This isn't actually plot important, so I'm not gonna lean on it very. I'm not gonna like go on it very much. But essentially, a host club is like it's a club for women to go, lonely women to go, where they pay to like get attention from men, but
Okay, okay.
not
I
like a
gotcha.
stripping club. It's just like it's hard to explain. It's a very Japanese thing.
Okay.
It,
But
it was
yeah,
basically
you
they
get
pay to
that as a
get flirted with.
subplot. But why I'm highlighting it is because the resolution is literally when Akira draws all the zombies. This because I think this is important. This is when I think this is one of the moments where we first learn Akira is very resourceful. He's
Mhm.
very like he's very savvy when it comes to getting a job done.
Although I do
Yeah.
want to say that him hiding under the water was kind of retarded because there's better hiding places than somewhere that you might not be able to hold your breath any longer. Then you gasp for air, and then there's just a zombie
Yeah,
there.
I
That's
was
not
like
even
I
the
saw
biggest
that and I was like,
problem.
what the fuck?
That's not even the
That
biggest
was so weird.
problem, given what we know of episode 5. That the zombie is a zombification affects fish
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah, we'll
yeah.
get to that.
Well, he
We'll
could have
get to
get bit
that.
by a fish in there, and
and
then he's
animals.
dead.
To be
Yeah,
fair, he
oh,
doesn't
but
know that yet. He
he
doesn't know
doesn't. But
that
dude,
yet.
I literally put in my. We're jumping ahead a little bit, but I might not even be here by the time we get to episode 5. But I put in my notes that I wonder if they'll do a zombie shark, and then there's a zombie shark. I'm like, let's fucking go.
I put in my notes literal Resident Evil boss fight. That's what I put.
Oh, is that what you were talking about earlier?
No, no, that's not the
Oh
reference.
no.
It's at the
No,
beginning
right?
of
'Cause you said
4.
episode 4.
Beginning of
All
4
right,
is the Resident Evil 2 reference.
I mean,
We'll get to it.
we'll
but
be to
yeah,
4 soon enough. We're
I
almost
think
done
this is
3.
I think basically, episode
Here, I'll be
3.
back in 1 sec.
The plot can basically be summarized by what we said. It's
He
his
reconnected with
homie
his
is
friend.
yeah, he's going after his friend. His friend is trapped in a love motel or some other kind of like somewhat shady sexual based business in the red light district of Tokyo. And he does some like tricky stuff to get over there, and then and draw the zombies out of the building specifically, and then he gets there, they reconnect, but I think a lot of the thematic stuff is important for this episode too, because you get that the two of them didn't part on the best of ways. Oh, no, now everyone's muted. Okay, well, it's just me and you, chat.
Well, I mean, I was eating. I was gonna let you talk, but then you pointed it
okay.
out. So.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, wait, where did he go? All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, if
yeah.
I'm gone for a while, it's because I'm going to the bathroom. If I'm just pausing briefly, it's because I'm eating.
Okay, no,
briefly.
that's fine. But yeah, we learned they didn't part on the best of ways because remember that we got the scene of the two of them like drinking, and Kencho is like talking about how like good his life and his job is. And then and that causes obvious friction. He's also telling Akira he should quit.
Well, that's true though. He should quit.
Yeah. He is telling him a lot. Well, he's telling him
the
a
why
lot
is that he enjoys his life and all the glamours of it, where he really hates it. But I think the only genuine part of that conversation is you should quit and do something better, because that's what he wants to do, but doesn't have the strength to do it.
I think the emotions too are very genuine from Akira, because Akira, from his perspective, he's just hearing this. His best friend is like living the life, and I think and he's obviously jealous, and they both react. They both get pissed off and then ask for the check, which
because
implies,
oh, so go on.
Yeah, it implies they maybe have less than great feelings towards each other at that point, though we learn Akira definitely doesn't, and Kencho definitely doesn't. But I think everyone's had that sort of like, you have that disagreement with a friend where you kind of feel awkward about it, if you know what I mean.
Well,
yeah.
And we also get more context for it later, because Kensho is very insecure about his job, and he was just bragging. So when Tendo calls it out, or Akira calls him out on it, he gets very frustrated because he was bragging on purpose, and he was mad that Akira called him out on it because he's insecure about his job and how much he hates it.
Well, it almost feels like he was also gaslighting himself. You know, he was talking, he was convincing himself that his life was great.
And then when Akira brought attention to it, the gaslight was ruined, and then he was angry about his job, and he took it out on Akira, and Akira was angry about his job and took it out on Kenjo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both just mad about the job, and then took it out on each other.
Yeah, but the bros reunite. They have like a very dramatic scene with the building jump too.
I enjoyed that part.
When after Akira confesses that he like feels guilty about ruining their friendship, and he's sorry for what he did. What's the best friend's name again?
Pedro.
Pedro?
Kencho.
Kencho?
Kencho. That's what he's called. I think it's a nickname.
Kencho?
It's definitely a nickname, but
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Is it spelled Kenjo or Kencho?
Kencho. That's how it's spelled.
Okay, I was calling it a J. Okay.
Kenjo. Yeah, he's like, you came all this way to say you're fucking sorry? Like, you didn't come over here to save me, you came to say sorry? Like, he was like so confused.
His actual name is Kenichiro, but he's called Kencho. Yeah, he's called Kencho.
Also, we skipped over this earlier, but the little gags of like Tendo or Kira looking really cool on the bike with the goggles, the marker beard. I said when he misses all the dark wood. He sucks at
Kensho.
darts.
Okay. I wrote in my notes. They used a trope in this one, which is using a card to distract zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
that is
wrote,
that is
I wrote,
definitely true.
I wrote Merle did it best in Walking Dead.
I love Merle. Dude, you know I missed
Favorite.
the episode when I first watched The
Yeah.
Walking Dead where Merle dies, so I was so confused what happened to his character.
What?
Yeah, then someone
You
Hold
just skip
on,
the
man. Hold
episode,
on.
see
Let me
Daryl
put that up
crying, and you're
here.
like, "What the fuck happened? What's wrong with him?"
Yeah, because I just accidentally missed that episode, and like it was like 2
Yeah.
seasons later I figured out I missed it. I'm like, what happened to this character? He just disappeared. They like hardly ever talked about him again. I'm like, oh, this all makes sense now because I somehow picked the next episode after the one I was supposed to be on, and it happened to be a very important episode.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, that is the thing though. They don't really because I think that the fact he does that, but it's also not emphasized because, well, for one thing, they have 24 minutes for the episode, but also just in general, the way he distracts the zombies isn't nearly as important as just the emotions between the characters and the characters like interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the highlight of the episode, but they used a lot of zombie tropes to get to that point.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Um.
and they do. There's definitely an appreciation for the zombie genre in this show.
Yeah.
But I think we can probably just move on to episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote in my notes before I do. I wrote in my notes when Akira jumps over the building and he's like he's hyping his best friend up to like do it. I said it would have been so funny if after all of that he jumps and then fell to his death.
That would've been funny.
Well, he
Oh, yeah.
almost does.
He almost did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hits his head on it and like he's
Yeah.
bleeding.
And then he scraped his balls on the thing. Poor guy.
Oh well, that's we skipped that part. When Kensho does it, he strips his clothes mid jump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did
that's
Bird do
his
that?
own way.
How did Bird do
It
that?
caught me off guard, and I was cracking up.
Yeah, that's his. The problem is that's his only comedy gag. Because remember, he wanted
Oh yeah,
to be
we
a
skipped
stand-up
that part too. He wants
comedian.
to be a comedian. We didn't talk about
Yeah,
that, did we?
yeah, because he was unhappy with his job. He basically he took the compromised job of like, well, I want to entertain people, and so it was like, oh, well, I'll be a salesman so I can entertain my clients. But then,
He schmoozes his clients, but it's all like
yeah,
surface level.
it's all
Yeah.
surface level and fake. And he kind of realized that. It's very clear he realized that, and that's something that's really interesting because I think it ties in because all of the main characters have some
Dream.
level of like tie in with dreams. Yeah, dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams is a
Mhm.
very big tie.
And he's the first
there.
character you get his dream, like, because Akira's isn't revealed until episode 5, and then we still don't get the girls. Suzuki.
We get a more broad view of how she how she goes into it with
Yeah, but we don't get her. We don't get her like life dream though in the first episodes.
Yeah.
We don't even get. I don't even think we get her actual like exact. Actually, no, we do later on in the show, but we don't get it yet.
Yeah.
I know. What it is. I
Also,
remember.
this is jumping way ahead, but does the series end after this one season?
Yeah, it hasn't
Yeah.
gotten a second season.
There is a second season coming.
No, I don't know if there's a second season coming. I don't think there is. Because
So
there was
it's
a
a
lot of
one and done
production
show.
problems, as I
How
said.
long is the
and
manga? Like, does the manga go past this season?
I haven't read the manga.
Oh.
I'm not really a.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm a reader, but I always feel awkward if I'm reading the manga of a show of something I watched as a show. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not really.
Uh,
I can watch the
I like
show
doing it.
after I read the manga, but I can't do the reverse.
I
usually
like
do it.
reading books that were turned into movies to see what what's different.
How much different it is.
Yeah, like there are some situations where I did read the book first. Like I read Maze
Mhm.
Runner before it was a movie, and then I watched the
did as well,
movies,
yeah.
and I got to know like what
The
they
movies
changed.
suck. The books are so much better.
Wait, what do you say?
I didn't like the Maze Runner movies at all.
Kill
I
yourself!
thought
Kill
the
yourself!
books
Kill yourself!
I
Dude, they're
I never
literally
really
that
watched it
trilogy
either.
is like on the top of my like favorite movies of all time. I'm
Oh,
not even joking.
well, you read the books, right? The books are so much better.
They are, yeah, but the thing I like about the movies and the books is that each one is like a different genre. Like the
Well, I
first
get
one,
that, but the books
the
just do
first
the genres
one,
better than the movies.
yeah, like the first one is a thriller. The second one is a
Mhm.
straight horror movie, and the third one's like an
Yeah.
action film, which is so
Did you read the
cool.
prequel?
Mhm.
No, I have not. I know
The
it's
prequel's pretty
being.
cool.
I know they
It's like a
talked about turning
philosophy
into a
kind of.
movie.
It's more philosophical.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
not a
how the
word, but
maze was built and whatnot. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, and the thinking that goes into it and like the
yeah.
utilitarianism of it. Yeah. All right, we're getting a little
Yeah,
off topic.
but yeah,
Um,
from what I understand, I haven't heard of any intentions to make a second season. But
Well,
actually,
that's another
at the
question. Does the
time,
show end on a definitive note, the first season?
it definitely does. It
okay.
Oh,
definitely
it
does.
So
does?
it's open
Okay, that's
close.
good.
All right, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
was hoping it wouldn't be a cliffhanger where there's no second season.
Yeah,
I'd have been pretty
Yeah,
bored.
I don't I feel like I'm happy with just the one season because a
yeah,
lot of what happens with this is a common thing with anime, especially a lot of one season anime. What happens is you oftentimes get what I call at least a read the manga ending, where the anime ends on a cliffhanger because a lot of the point of anime is supposed to be as an advertisement of the manga.
yeah. Usually.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're going to episode 4, right?
Yes,
Because
sir.
we get the two bros on their new like kind of I guess hideout
Yeah.
for yeah for the rest of the show. Because I guess we're writing off Akira's apartment
Uh huh.
to an extent but yeah we get them uh on the hideout. And actually, Lulu, you guys had a lot. Both of you had a lot more to say on this episode than I did. So
Yeah.
I think I'll let you guys take over like the discussion there.
Okay. First of all, I said it's fucking hilarious how it opens with Akira playing like Call of Duty Zombies. That was
Yes, that's
hilarious.
great.
Yeah. Um, and then I said I love how simple the episode starts because um they're like okay, we should start doing stuff on our bucket list, and they're like, okay, let's go steal a fucking flat screen TV, and that's the whole plot. They just want to get a flat screen TV, and
Yeah, because they're
so they
going through
go
their bucket list
to
basically.
yeah, they go to a mall, and this is where the Resident Evil 2
Yeah,
reference happens. So
yeah,
there's
because this is one of
a
the Japanese underground malls. This
yeah,
is like basically a lot of time this happens with. I know it's a common thing in Japan, in Tokyo specifically. It's basically like these subway station, like sort of areas where there's a bunch of stores and stuff underground.
yeah. It's like the reverse of an outlet mall.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So they
Yeah, I like it.
motorcycle to this mall, and then in front of them, driving straight towards them, is a zombie driving a big ass truck, and the zombie is actively eating a cheeseburger while driving, and that
So
is a
how
reference
advanced are
to
the
what's up.
I was gonna say how advanced are their motor skills, but you were talking about a reference.
That's a reference to the opening of Resident Evil 2, where it starts with this truck driver hearing about zombies on the radio. There's a zombie in the road. He hits it, thinking it's like a little girl, and he gets out to make sure she's okay. He gets bitten. He gets back in the truck, tries to drive himself to safety, but he crashes and explodes the truck. And that's literally exactly what happens in this episode. The zombie, while eating the cheeseburger, drives straight into the two main characters and like explodes, and then they like do that like sick motorcycle trick where they like jump over and everything. Um, but yeah, Yeah, that's like such an obscure reference that no one would know unless they played the game, because that's how the game opens with the truck driver eating the cheeseburger. So,
Also,
yeah.
is the audio on the live stream good? Because I noticed it did like sputter at points.
It should be good.
It
Okay,
sounds good. It sounds good to me.
all right, that works. Just yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay, go ahead.
problem is it's buffering repeatedly, but
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
yeah, it's buffering a lot, but it's fine other than that.
Yeah.
So when we re-upload it, will the buffering be in the re-upload?
No, it won't.
Don't think so.
Okay, that's
No,
good.
because when I watch because you can like with a live stream you aren't watching it live necessarily, like the VOD exists in real time.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
rewind that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I rewind it, the buffering
It's
isn't there.
rewind
So
time. Yeah.
Oh god, that's an old meme, but it
Um,
checks out.
yeah.
This
Wait.
episode was Flight Attendant of the Dead, which is we'll get to
Oh yeah,
why.
because they find a group of survivors in the mall, and their dream is to like go on a date with a flight attendant for some reason. I don't know why that would be on your bucket list, but okay, I'm not gonna judge.
But it's I
Um,
mean, hey, he's got a type. But
they
I thought it
find
was funny
out.
that Kencho did we talk about how Kencho just like leeches on to Kendo's bucket list? He's like, all right, I'm joining this now. And he just
Yeah, he
starts writing
writes
his
his own
own
shit
dreams
onto
into
it. Yeah.
yeah, his own bucket list. Yeah. And Akira gets all mad. He's like, well, that's mine. He's like, ah, too bad, I'm joining.
Okay. um. Uh. What's it called? Yeah. So he finds out. They find out two of the people are flight attendants, and
Three
we
of them
have a
are.
wholesome like 10
All
minutes
three of the
with
girls are
them.
flight attendants.
Oh yeah, all three, all three. Okay, I thought it was just two. But we have a like 10, 15 wholesome minutes with them before
Mhm.
they die
Reveal the trope of like
miserably.
one of them has bitten. That's in every zombie thing that like
Yeah.
that one of them
That
is
is a
actually
trope.
bitten
That is
by
another
the
trope. That's like the second or third trope so far. Finding a group of
Mhm.
survivors and then they all die.
One of them didn't reveal that they were bitten.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them
They did
keeping
that
it a
back to
secret like
back.
a
'Cause they did it on
bitch.
the they did it on the bus too in the next episode. I'm like, wow, they used that
Yeah, yeah, they
trope
did
back
it
to back
twice in a
episodes.
row,
I was
which I didn't
surprised they pulled
mind.
that twice.
It
Yeah,
didn't
it's
bother
a
me.
it doesn't. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's a good trope. It's I mean, it's overused for a reason because it creates a
Yeah.
lot of cool drama. But the fact that they
Yeah.
did it back to back was a bit surprising. Usually, you spread it out a bit more. But oh well.
Yeah. Um yeah, I like them using this trope because it took the silly goofy fuck, I can't speak. The silly goofy
This was definitely the
mood
darkest episode.
of the
Yeah.
show and yeah, made it serious where
I mean, like right before this, there
Akira
was like a zombie farting. Like, do we talk about that at all?
yeah.
The zombie was just laying down on the ground farting, and like it's funny like how silly
Yeah.
this episode starts when this is
Yeah.
like of the first five by far the darkest
Yeah,
episode.
it goes from funny, silly, goofy, and then
Like
wholesome.
lighthearted, like wholesome to oh my
Yeah,
god, this is so
and then
fucking sad and
it
dark.
takes that turn where it's like it's very obvious where it's going for the viewer, but I think it's meant for Akira, like kind of
Mhm.
it's for him to
Yeah.
realize that the apocalypse ain't all sunshine and
Mhm.
rainbows, and not
But
everyone's gonna
before we
make
get to
it. So
yeah, but before we get to that point, there's a lot more gags, like where he snorts the tequila and impresses the
oh
alcoholic flight attendant. That
oh
was funny.
yeah
He's like, "You go, kid."
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
and
also went out in
he
a
chugs
funny
a
way.
bottle of like tequila to try to
Oh, he doesn't chug it, he snorts it.
snorts it. Huh.
Yeah, he inhales it through his nose.
What?
Yeah, you didn't notice that?
The alcohol?
Yeah, he snorts the whole bottle, that's why it's so funny.
The fuck?
Yeah, he snorted a bottle of
I thought he
tequila.
just chugged it. I didn't know he
No, no, no,
snorted
it's
it.
like,
What?
unless I
I
completely,
I didn't
like,
even notice
zoned out
that.
while watching. Yeah, he, like, puts it up to his nose and, like, says he's gonna snort it and then, like yeah, because you get more
Uh,
you feel the alcohol more if you snort it, so that's why he was, like,
uh,
instantly fucked up because it goes to your
yeah.
bloodstream much faster.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. That's funny.
Yeah, and then he does that because earlier he goes right for the boyfriend question, and she's like, She's like, we just met, and it's like a zombie apocalypse. You really gonna ask that? He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Feels
Like I
bad,
ruined my
man.
chances.
Yeah. And then the Playboy best friend he has, which is another trope in like anime shows like this, he gets
Yeah.
the girl like, immediately. But then yeah,
Um.
what part are we at
So
right now?
everyone dies.
Well, before that, we get the reveal of the ankle
I'm
bite.
back. I'm back, and I actually have some
Rangy.
things to say about this
Okay.
sequence because,
Are you on your phone? What the fuck?
no,
Why do you sound
is
like
it?
shit?
I don't know.
Bro, this mic
I'm using
quality
the
just
same.
cut in half.
It might be a network thing. Give it a second.
Maybe.
Shit.
Sorry. Yeah.
It says
Yeah,
my ping is good.
We can stop when we get to 5. And then 6 and 7 we could save for next stream if you want.
yeah, that works.
Because Iron
Well, I mean,
hasn't
it's up
seen
to
them
you
yet,
guys.
so.
I haven't. Well, I'm also
True.
leaving in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
that's why I'm saying let's stop at 5.
Okay.
I'd be okay stopping at 5. Because I mean, if we're going to do another stream anyway, like,
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And then I could rewatch 6 and 7, like rewatch it from 6 at least. Then
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was.
when I
I'm gonna rewatch
rewatched,
episode 1 and then start from 6 because
Yeah.
I wasn't. A lot of times when I get into a new show, I don't really pay attention during the first like 5 or so minutes. So like, I want to at least rewatch that segment.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with this, this is when they say mix. I don't know if they say it in the dub, but this is kind of what's called a mixer in Japanese
Yeah,
society.
it's in a lot
It's
of
essentially a
animes.
blind date. Yeah, it's essentially a blind date, but in its usual, it's often depicted, at least in anime and stuff, as like a 3-person thing. I don't know if that's a
Yeah, it is always
like
on 3.
3-person. You know,
Yeah, I did notice that. It's always 3 guys, 3 girls. That is weird.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how our main characters structure it too. Like they're like, oh wait, this is like a mixer. You know, you have that
Mhm.
like scene that's kind of like
Yeah.
comedic of them like realizing it's 3 guys and 3 girls, and
Mhm.
that's kind of what it is. And anyone who's played the Yakuza games, uh, might have played there's a side quest in one of them where you actually join into a mixer
Oh, that's fun.
because there so this is a common thing in a lot of like, especially if it's depicting like more adult characters rather than like high schoolers or whatever, like most anime does. But yeah, that's kind of a thing. And as far as him chugging it, he chugged it, he didn't snort it.
Oh, I swear in the dub, I swear
Yeah,
he says
see,
snort.
Dude,
Oh
what
well.
were you smoking
Well,
something when you watched that episode? What
let
the
me
fuck?
look. Dude, let me look it up.
He was preemptively drunk.
Yeah,
Guy was pre-gaming days in advance.
I mean, I got a good buzz going on. I just drank 2 tall boys of Coors Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, so when it comes to this and the zombie tropes and stuff, you also have the, kind of the trapped in a store, like waiting out the zombies thing. That is another
Mhm.
it is kind of another trope where like, oh, we have to wait out until it's clear outside, until the zombies outside clear out, sort of
Yeah.
thing. That's
It's- It
also
says,
definitely.
hey, it says on the wiki he snorts tequila.
Okay, well, the wiki.
What?
He. It's weird. He says in the thing he
What?
chugged it. It's
Well,
like
What the
the
fuck?
in
whole
the
thing
dub,
was
it says I'm gonna snort this tequila.
okay. Well, that's because it's a dub, and therefore it's not reliable.
You might be, you might not be, you might be wrong,
Yeah.
Rangy. You might be wrong.
Oh
Yeah,
no! Wait, I actually when he said the fact that he says it's a dub thing, I think it's actually just a thing in the dub because the way the way it words it in the subtitles, it says he's chugging the whole bottle of tequila.
Yeah, because in the
I
dub,
don't
he
know.
clearly says snort. That's
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
it's a
I
sub
made a
versus
note
dub
out of it
difference.
because I thought it was weird that he snorted it and said like I knew guys who would snort like a line of liquor, but he snorted a bottle. That's like insane.
Yeah, so it's literally they changed it for the dub to something really dumber.
Yeah, and that's why it makes
Yeah,
sense.
I don't
I mean,
know.
it's usually if you chug, because I mean, I've chugged a bottle of liquor before. You don't feel it right away. It takes like a good 20 minutes. He
Yeah,
passed out like immediately, which would happen
yeah,
if you snorted.
that's why you're encouraged to like spread out your drinking. Drink
Mhm.
responsibly, viewers, please.
Don't drink
Yeah, don't.
responsibly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
College
what?
is
You know what?
Do
it's
cocaine and drink beer at the same time.
Uh, but
like it's like
only while you're doing black tar heroin. It's
oh my
important.
god,
Like,
Jesus Christ. I was gonna say like we're getting to the point like the South Park joke like there's a time and a place and it's called college, but even they don't. I don't think they would endorse Black
Yes.
Tar Heroin.
But yes, uh, as far as other things, yeah. The other thing I wanted to say is I think these 3 episodes, 3, 4, and 5, is very much a play on genre for each like episode. Like this
I
is
can
the
see that.
horror
Yeah.
episode. I think
Yeah,
I
this
mentioned
one
it
hit me in
before.
the feels, man. Like I actually
Yeah,
like felt really they really did a good job of characterizing, especially the one flight attendant, like in a short amount of time, and like then
Yeah,
they all
the
brutally
girl
murdered
that
her. I
like
felt really bad about it.
the one that
That had a
came to
boyfriend,
comfort Akira.
and she
yeah,
had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like poor kid,
Mm,
it's great.
bro
Also,
got rejected.
every girl he's fallen in love with so far has brutally died, so it's like
Yeah.
rough.
yep.
He's got to stop
Hey,
catching
But
feelings. We all he
hey,
keeps
forget
fucking causing them to die.
rule 1 is not cardio. Rule 1 should be don't be a simp.
Yeah, because you
true.
will lose them to the zombies. And then
But
I
yeah,
wrote when the flight attendant was talking about how she like hates some parts of their job. I'm like, oh my god, everyone hates their job. I'm like low
a-
key relatable. I'm not gonna lie.
also on
Yeah.
the
I mean, it's a theme of the
RE2
show.
reference.
Yeah,
This is something I was thinking about earlier. Do you think maybe there was a degree of reference to the Shaun of the Dead store scene with when he
I
goes
mean
into
Lulu
the
mentioned there's a
store?
lot of
Wait,
Shaun of
wait,
the
what
Dead
scene's a
references.
reference?
In episode 2 when he goes to the store? Do you think it
Um,
was
I thought you
with
mentioned that,
how
that's
Lulu.
kind of a
mundane he was about it?
that's not
I don't
necessarily
think it
a
was.
reference to Shaun of the Dead. That's like a trope where
Yeah,
in
it's a
apocalypse
parallel.
movies, you see people go to like the store and buy whatever the fuck they want because like there's no one there, so you could just steal whatever. So that's not like a Shaun of the Dead reference. That's just like a trope. Like
Yeah.
28 Days
Uh,
Later does it, fucking I'm Legend, like, a
Yeah,
bunch
but
of apocalypse movies.
back to this though. This is another one of those cases where I feel like the person who's bitten, it seems to last a lot longer than we've seen before, and I
I
think
also
that's
said
kind
probably
of
because they showed
Yeah.
he was bitten on the ankle, which is the
Yeah, and
furthest
the
place from the
ankle,
heart and
yeah.
brain. So I feel like that's a justification for it.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
the way that first flight attendant goes out, I'm like, the animators were having fun with that one.
Yeah.
Well, they like I said though with the genre thing, it feels like 3, 4, and 5 they're very much playing with genre because, like I said, this
Mhm.
is a horror one. I
Yeah,
Yeah.
think 3 is
3 was
kind
like
of more
the
the
slice of
drama.
life kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the drama, you know.
And then 5 is more of like a One Punch Man type of like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 is the action
It felt
episode.
very One Punch Man like spoofy
Yes,
action
it
too.
does, especially with how he takes out the shark.
And then like he feels very
Yeah.
much like Moomin Rider when he like first fights the zombies, and then like it really
Yep.
hurts. We'll get to that
I
more,
wrote in my
but
notes, bro really did a WWE move on the shark.
but yeah, going back to
Oh
the
yeah,
flight attendants, that yeah, she touches him right to comfort him, right, which is like the first physical interaction she has with him, which foreshadows the last physical interaction, which is also a
Yeah.
reassuring touch on the back, but this one is to push him out of harm's way. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I thought that was cool. Like the first and last physical interaction she had with him was both a reassuring touch.
yeah. And She also really she's another one of those characters that's there to like hit home on the theme, because you get her talking about like why she became a flight attendant, and even like the event that
her
you
dream
get that,
become a flight
yeah.
attendant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you even get her insecurities, even though she did go into her dream, which is another
Yeah.
one of those parallels, because you had, because already you've had Kencho, who had like the really good job, but he was still unhappy because it wasn't his dream. You had Akira, who went into a job that seemed like it was good, and then it was like completely exploitative company where he didn't get any of the benefit. And then you have her, where she got the dream job, but she was still kind of insecure about it to an extent, but she was still happy with it. And she even says,
Yeah.
in like her
Okay,
last
to be
moment, she loved her job.
Oh yeah, and just to kind of poke a little fun, I think they could have gave a little bit better of the reason why she hated her job. Like he called her a flying waitress. Like that's pretty much what they are. No offense,
Yeah,
but
and that's actually the same in the sub too. So that's not. But
I thought it was, like I get what they were going for. I just thought it was a bit weak in an example. Like oh my god,
Yeah.
he called her
I
a
think they could have
simplification of
done
what she
better with
does.
that.
Yeah, like
This is also when the
look,
production issues began too.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
like because let's be real here, they are flying waitresses. Like, yeah, it's an
Yeah.
oversimplification, but it's the truth.
Yeah, but
but I did like the story for why she had originally wanted to. It was like she was a kid of a flight attendant, like eased her sort of
Fears.
discomfort, and she
Yeah.
was airsick and all this stuff, and she saw that person, was like, oh, I want to be that, because this person was so amazing and helped me so much, and like left an impact on her. I thought that
Yeah, I
was
mean,
like a
childhood's
really
important. Like
cool.
stuff like that leaves a mark.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, oh, before I forget, they made a nice little visual pun. When it was a dead end, it was literally a dead end. It was the end of the road, and there was a bunch of zombies there blocking the way. So it was like dead end, like the dead were
Yeah.
ending the road.
Dead.
I thought that was a nice little visual
Yeah,
pun.
That's
I think
funny.
it's also really funny though. After all of the girl, after everyone else is dead, they're both like really
Oh, they
depressed.
get a
And then
TV.
yeah, Joe gets the TV, and they're like, "Oh,
Like I
shit,
said,
we got the
Yeah.
TV."
the
I found it
juxtaposition
to
in the
be
show is some of the best I've ever seen. It's like
it
so
was
fucking good.
it was funny, but it was also wholesome. It was like
Mhm.
Kencho trying to cheer him up. You know, like,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
Yeah,
we still got your TV, even though all those people fucking died because of us.
Yeah, I was cracking up when that happened. It's like, at least we got the TV. I'm like, yes.
and then
Definitely a
you can
glass
play
half
the
full kind of
same game
person.
on the bigger
Fuck
TV,
all those
and
people. TV.
and, and it's funny
Like,
when he's playing the game on the TV. It's kind of comically big for where they are, because they're on just like some random rooftop.
Yeah.
Also, the rooftop reminded me of a specific game, even though it's nothing to do with zombies. Uh, are any of you, either of you, familiar with the Infamous games?
No.
Your best friend in that game, and kind of your hideout for the first game, is on a rooftop, and he's like
Oh.
just sitting there on a
Oh,
rooftop
yeah.
on a couch
Here you go,
watching TV.
Rangi. Video game analogy. Dying Light. It's Dying Light.
Dying Light, I like Dying Light too.
Yeah.
I'm not enough of a gamer.
Dying Light
I
is
haven't
Yeah,
like
played anything.
Assassin's Creed plus zombies. That's basically what it
Okay.
is.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like Dying Light a lot. It's really fun.
Oh, I had in my notes all the nice flight attendant ladies got brutally murdered, but hey, they got the TV though.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it
That
like
was some of my thoughts
is it
on
like
that.
80-inch, 85-inch? Didn't it say
Oh,
like?
dude, it was gigantic. They had to like
It's
get in
a
between them on the
massive
motorcycle.
TV. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
yeah,
also wrote my notes. This
Comically
kid's got to
large
stop falling
TV.
for every girl he meets. They keep dying on him.
Yeah.
yeah, and then we go into but we also get Kira kind of thinking on like what is his dream and trying to remember, because he knows he has
Yeah.
had a childhood dream, and we get that in the
In
next
the beginning of the
episode.
next episode. Yeah. All right. That's
Yeah.
the last one we're doing this stream. Let's bang it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty.
So yeah, episode 5, the aquarium episode. Was it Aquarium of the Dead? Is that actually what it's called?
I think so.
Hero of the Dead.
Oh,
Oh, that
Hero
makes
of
more
the Dead.
sense. That makes more sense.
That makes more sense. Yeah, because I didn't. I should have noted down the episode titles because
Sorry, I wrote all of them down. It's good.
I didn't. This episode, he basically, one of his bucket list items is to become a superhero, and
Mhm.
they're like, okay,
yeah, he
well, if we,
remembers his childhood dream. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
become
when
a superhero.
when he was a kid, wanted to be a superhero, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
they're like,
this is
okay,
one of
if we're gonna be a superhero, then we need to learn how to we need a safe way to fight the zombies and save people. And so they like stumble upon this aquarium, and they use
well, they
a
didn't stumble upon it. They specifically went
Because he wants to get the shark outfit,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
okay,
because he wanted to get
Yeah.
the shark fit, which I
yeah,
thought was
which
a
is
really clever thing.
genius. It's actually
this
genius.
is well, this is actually a
Oh yeah,
thing
that I
bugs
was
me in a
impressed by
lot
that
of
idea.
yeah. This is something that bugs
Bite
me in a lot of
resistance, that's so
zombie
smart.
media. Lulu, you can vouch for this. For
Okay.
some reason, in most zombie media, they don't think to make it or use any fucking armor.
So
Yeah,
in The
'cause it's
Walking
so
Dead,
useful.
in The Walking Dead and like Z Nation, I think they established that leather is the best way to protect yourself from zombies because they can't bite through leather. So that's why
But there's plenty of other material they can't
like
bite.
Negan wears a leather jacket. One of the big
That's
reasons
smart.
is that you can't bite through it.
Wait.
So.
Yeah, but like with this, it's like it's a shark suit. It makes complete sense. It's
built.
literally designed.
It's built
literally
to not be bitten through. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's genius. It's like wearing fucking medieval armor in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Genius.
Oh, speaking of, actually, in the future of the show, we're gonna get somebody who's kind of doing that.
I didn't even know that.
There is a character who wears samurai armor.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, so it's essentially he remembers his childhood dream because he remembers like watching like Saturday morning cartoons essentially.
Yeah.
It's not Saturday morning cartoons necessarily. I don't think they have, but it's like the Japanese equivalent of it. It's like
yeah.
it's like Super Sentai type stuff.
Yeah.
Like Astro Boy kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, Super Sentai is like Power Rangers, which is it's in fact literally the thing that inspired.
Which is funny because they only
Rangers.
reference Spider-Man, which is a not Japanese character.
They do actually mention Spider-Man.
They showed you're right. They showed a
sub.
green Power Ranger on the screen.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
yeah, because
Spider-Man.
that's how. So Super Sentai is how because it wasn't a Power Ranger, it would have been a one of the Super Sentai. Because Power Ranger is literally just a rip of Super Sentai. To the
American,
point they literally use
of that.
Well, to the point they literally recycle. Power Rangers literally recycles footage from Super Sentai.
Damn.
Yeah.
You gotta cook us somehow, okay? I'm not judging.
Yep. Yeah. That was the entire inspiration for it. It was essentially. The best way to put it is it's a dub with its complete own story that just uses some of the same footage.
True. I just heard your phone go off.
Guys, I do need to dip out now because I'm gonna go watch Venom 3. Yeah,
well,
but
I miss you already.
That's fine. We're at least only one episode left.
We're
you
done,
just, you two can wrap it up without me. We'll start from episode 6. The next episode, I'll just quickly summarize my thoughts of episode 5 at the beginning, next stream, and then I guess I'll plug my channel real quick. Iron Mandrill. I haven't uploaded anything in a month, but I'm working on some stuff. You can check me out.
It's in the description. It's in the description. Both channels.
Oh, there we go.
Both channels.
Look for me and Rangi's channels in the description. It's been a lot of fun, Lulu. Thanks for having me. Have fun with the rest of the
Yeah.
episode.
Of course, bro.
All right. Catch you guys later. Peace.
Bye. Fucking
Actually,
monkey.
I think
Sorry, what?
I think the links to our channel didn't work when you put the description, but you can fix that later.
Wait, what?
Or
It didn't work?
No, it's not clickable on my screen at least.
Fuck. I don't know why I didn't do that. It should have been clickable. What the fuck?
I just
I'll
saw
fix it
that.
after the stream's over when it's a video. That way it should work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also just try to plug my channel in the chat then,
Okay.
if you don't
Go for
mind. But I'll do that while we're talking so that it's not like disruptive.
Okay.
But yeah, so episode 5, yeah, he remembers his childhood dream, which is to become a superhero, which normally is obviously like, well, no, you obviously can't do it, but the zombie apocalypse that is a little more like achievable, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, they talk and like, yeah, the shark suit, which, yeah, it's brilliant. I love the shark suit thing. Because, as I said, I think the only other thing I can think of where they like, oh yeah, put something on so that, you know, it doesn't like, so that the bites don't get through. Train to Busan does it. They put like they tape up their
Yeah,
arms.
they wrap their hands in tape and like
Yeah,
gloves
which
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and which, you know, if you're fighting zombies, that is probably what the main
dude.
area you want to protect.
I love Train to Busan isn't my favorite zombie movie, but I love how in that movie they just straight up punch the zombies in the fucking face.
Oh,
They said,
speaking of,
"Nah,
have you
I'm
watched,
tired of your shit," and just start fucking beating their ass.
there is a show, there's a movie I consider like the spiritual successor to Train to Busan, because the actual successor to Train to Busan is garbage.
I didn't bother.
Yeah, Peninsula is not worth watching. Anyone
didn't
who's
think so.
chat, just don't watch.
Yeah,
But
I didn't-
called
I
hashtag Alive. I believe it's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's like Korean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another Korean show
Yeah.
and movie. It's really good. It's
I actually thought
really
that was
good
a spin-off of
character
Train to Busan. I'm not even kidding.
It wasn't, but it like I said, I view it as a spiritual successor. So
Yeah. It's kind of like you
they
know
do the
Z
zombies in
Nation,
very similar
right?
ways. Yeah,
Have you seen Black Summer?
Nation is. I think they actually referenced Black Summer as a thing, so I think Z
Yeah,
Nation
because
was directly
Black Summer is a
inspired by it.
reference of Z Nation, but they're like, or not reference. It's a spin-off, but it's not like, it's like not a spin-off at the same time. Like it's its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
which is probably a good way to do it. But yeah, anyway, so episode 5, yeah, they go to an aquarium, and it's interesting because you get them kind of like messing around with the aquarium before the action happens, which I kind of like. They're like, yeah, because, you know, it gives Akira the time to like spray paint the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gets the shark suit immediately. So, which I'm fine with, honestly. I feel like zombies are gonna. This is always something weird about zombie things. I think they're gonna coalesce in places where the last like living person was, and then they're gonna like run to the next like loud noise. I think that's makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get there without much trouble. They get the suit, they spray paint, they have time to like spray paint it, and that's when the action starts, because you get the bus stuck in traffic with all the
bus full
people,
of survivors. Yeah.
including our girl.
Yeah,
Shizuka.
she's in the back of it.
Yep.
Um,
And yeah, then as you guys said earlier, you get the guy at the back who was bitten but you know, didn't tell anyone.
yeah.
I don't like I don't like that trope, but I think it can be done well, if you know what I mean.
I liked it in 4, but this one was kind of annoying.
Yeah, because
Like
this
I
one
would have
is
rather
just-
like
Would
I
it
would have
be
rather
more
like.
interesting if they just have one of the windows shatter?
That's what I was gonna say. I would rather the zombies break in and they all run out of the bus. I would prefer that.
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
it's okay.
you literally
It's whatever.
I think what you could have done instead is have one of the windows finally give out. The zombie
Yeah.
grabs somebody and bites somebody in the bus, and
Yes. Yeah.
now you have the thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, but this is kind of one of those minor criticisms I have of this show for the first like 7 episodes. Well, it's it. That's the thing. This show I like a lot, and it's very good thematically, though. So I think it
Yeah.
kind of overwhelms those issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, somebody's been on the bus, so people rush out, and you see a lot of people do die because they're rushing out and because they're panicking.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you could have had, obviously, if you have like a calm like evacuation of this place, you probably would have had less deaths. But people aren't calm in a disaster situation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, a bunch of people get grabbed, but one specific chick, just she almost gets grabbed, and then Akira jumps into, action.
Yeah.
He gets to be a superhero and save her and buy her time.
Yeah.
And this woman also comes up later. She's actually a bitch.
Nah, yeah. I like how this episode is just Akira trying to impress, the love interest.
Yes.
And he sapes her like the first time. And she's like still not impressed. And then the fucking Resident Evil boss fight shows up, the goddamn shark with legs. And he like fucking RKO's that shark to save her. Because right, so they run into the aquarium, they see the shark, and then they try to like run into a door and shut it behind them, but the chick from the bus like shoves risk analyst woman out of the way and traps her.
Yeah, she shoves Shizuka out of the way, and basically Shizuka doesn't get to go into the safe room with all the other survivors. But before that, we also get a display of how the shark suit works, because this is something I like. The shark suit isn't like, it's not just blanket cover. It's not like, because this is something I hate with a lot of like protection from things in a lot of shows. Not zombie shows specifically, because zombie shows, it's almost annoying how often they don't. But actually, I could reference zombie shows too, because they do it with the riot gear in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Too. But like, yeah, sure, you're protected from being bitten, but you're not protected from like the force and pressure.
You still feel
zombies.
you feel the bite. It just doesn't. You don't get bitten. That's basically what it is. Like you feel the bite, but it doesn't actually bite you.
Yeah, there's no contact between the zombie's jaw and your body, but it's still like obviously there's force there. Yeah, there's force and pressure, and it's gonna hurt like hell. Because when he saves the chick the first time, basically it's like he gets bitten and he's like, oh wait, shit, that still hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I'm invincible, and he's like, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, but he's still like, eventually he just tosses the zombies into like the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny as fuck. He just
but it's still like
throws them in the ocean.
Especially because you get the Kensho line where Kensho's like, at the thing, he's like, help! He's like, no, there's only one suit. I can't do anything.
Yeah, he closes the door on him. He's like, nah, you're on your own. You're good.
It's like, you're good. You can't be bitten.
Yeah, that was funny.
But it is also like, yeah, he could. It's not like cold like a lot of other zombie shows, because like Kensho knows that Akira can take care of himself. It's just, obviously getting bitten still hurts. He can't. The suit doesn't make him immortal. It just it makes it so that he's not one-hit killed. Essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of still puts him on even terms with the zombies in a way.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
and I liked that a lot. And then he gets back into the aquarium, and then the group runs into zombies because obviously there are gonna still be zombies in the aquarium.
yeah,
It's
just roaming
implied
around.
basically
Yeah.
the outbreak happened within the span of like a morning, you know?
Yeah. It's like no matter what building you go to, there's gonna be zombies. That's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, well, because
They're gonna be roaming around.
as the initial outbreak, people are going to have scattered into whatever like seeming safe place, especially people who might not have known what getting bitten meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense that any given building is probably going to have a zombie in it. That's unless it's been cleared out, that's a safe assumption to basically make.
Yeah.
But yeah, they encounter that, but then they also encounter a shock of all shot. And they also see the zombified fish too. That is
Yeah.
also a thing. Because they saw it before that, and I remember Kencho specifically has a line where it's like, if we hadn't lived through the outbreak, this would freak me the fuck out, basically.
I kind of like I like the trope of zombie animals. Something that's not canon to Walking Dead, but it is to, like a lot of other shit. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting.
It always bugs me when it's like just human zombies, because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No animals got bitten, or it's just that for some reason this only affects humans for some reason.
Or you have 20 days later where they're not infected but they carry it. They're like the virus. Yeah.
Which I like that too, actually, because at least then it's like, okay, well, I have to check this animal to make sure it's not like got any bite marks or scars.
Yeah.
But yeah. With this in general, it's like the fish are there are several of the fish that are zombified, which we get, but we do see the shark with all the zombies sticking out of it with their legs sticking out of it.
Yeah.
That was great, actually. The funny thing is, because the legs still move after the shark is defeated, because those zombies are still not dead. It's just the shark that was dead.
Yeah, I love how Akira, or I don't know who it was, Akira or Kencho was like, how the fuck did this happen? And then Risk Analyst one was like, how should I know? Like questioning how the shark came to be. Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Shizuka is like, how would I know?
Yeah.
She basically says like the shark they probably zombified after the shark ate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what she says, at least in the sub.
Yeah.
But and then from there you get like, obviously, so initially you get that the zombies are there, and whatever, and people run, and then they run in. If I remember, it's like they run into a hallway, and then there it is, the zombie shark with the, like 8 legs, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because it's the zombies that they ate.
Yeah. That's
and it's chasing. Yeah, it is hilarious. It is basically a Resident Evil boss.
Yeah, literally. Just give Akira a Glock and there you go, Resident Evil.
But they chase so they all get chased, the group gets chased. Because obviously, like, a shark isn't like a normal zombie. It's gonna have a much higher bite strength.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Bro's gonna get split in half by one bite.
And it's also just like, it has that psychological impact too, of just, it freaks everyone the fuck out. And people are panicking. And as said, the chick that's saved in the beginning, she panics as they're running to I believe it's like a maintenance room or like a janitor's
It's like an emergency
room.
exit.
Was it emergency exit? Either way,
Yeah.
it's something like that, and she shoves Shizuka out of the way.
Yeah.
Uh, basically, yeah, she is doing the Shane option, you know? You know what I'm
Yep.
talking about from season
Yep.
2
Shoots Otis
of
on the
The Walking
leg.
Dead.
Yep.
Yep. Uh, ba- but yeah, it's like, okay, I'm going to double cross them so it buys me time to get away. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like she's doing it like calculated. It's just panic, and you even get
Yeah, like it was an accident. Like it was a reflex. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't an accident, but it was a reflex.
Yeah, yeah.
It
It
was
wasn't
like
like she wanted her
it
to
was a
die,
split
but
second decision made in panic, but also that fuck
yeah,
that
it
bitch.
was a kind of like get the fuck out of my way, I want to live, like kind of move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, fuck that bitch,
Yeah. Um, yeah, I agree.
and not in the fun way.
Yeah, no, Akira realizes that
Yep.
sexy hot woman was left behind. And so he like fucking RKO's the shark to save her when she like
Well,
she like had accepted her fate, and he
yeah,
said,
she
"Nah, I don't
basically
think
yeah
so."
she she accepts her fate. Akira gets involved, and then you also get Kencho out here
Yeah, yeah.
trying to attract
He
attention
I
while
love that
to buy them
scene.
time.
He goes to distract the shark, and he's like, "No, no, no, wait, please, it was a joke. I swear, it was a prank. It was a prank." And he like regretting his actions. Like,
Well,
no,
yeah,
no, please.
he does the thing that Kencho does, where he strips naked and he moons the
Yeah,
shark,
that was.
and he's like
I love
yelling out.
the fact that stripping naked was like so unnecessary, but he did it anyways.
It seems like that's the funniest thing with Kencho, because Kencho is definitely supposed to be kind of the comic relief. He is the comic
Yeah.
relief best friend, but he does it by stripping naked because that's his only comedy bit that he knows.
Yeah. I love that it's a running joke. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
his only bit.
but yeah, he's like, wait, shit, I don't want to get pinned.
Yeah. What do they use
But
to
yeah,
kill the shark?
it's a batteries, because
Battery?
they use you know how sharks have that. They actually say it in the dub. It's the organ, super sensitive organ that like detects electro stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they do say that in the
Oh.
they're like hypersensitive
I'm gonna
to
let
electricity.
me. Yeah, it's an
Um,
actual organ for sharks, but I forget what it's called.
I don't know. I'm not really
Ampullae of Lorenzini.
what?
The ampullae of Lorenzini. They say it specifically in the sub, but it's like a
Okay.
specific organ that sharks have that can detect like basically electrical impulses.
Okay.
It's one of those like or organs that sharks have that just makes them able to like detect random potential prey or animals.
Yeah.
But basically, what they do is, yeah, they use the battery, and essentially, so Shizuka gets the battery and throws it to the batteries and throws it to Akira, who then just smashes it into the shark and essentially kills it by overcharging that organ.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said earlier, I love how it tips over like a cow and then the legs are like still moving.
Yeah, the legs are still moving. But yeah, also, this kind of sets up that the zombies don't necessarily need the brain to be killed to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they can be killed just through damage in general.
Yeah, I wrote into
Oh,
my
yeah.
notes, I was like, I wrote into my notes, Akira did all of that to save her, and she was still not impressed. I was like, wow, women are hard to please.
No, she was impressed. She was still impressed. She was clearly impressed,
Yeah, but she like didn't
but
want to admit
she
it. She didn't want to admit
she
it.
just saw she still
She
saw
like
him as a
she
liability.
pretended to be ungrateful. Yeah.
Well, she was great. I think ungrateful is wrong. She, like I said, uh, at least in the sub, it very much drives this home. She sees him as a liability, because he
Yeah.
kind of is, to be fair.
Kind of. Yeah.
But yeah, she's kind of unimpressed. But you do get her name,
Yeah.
like that
Because
is.
at the very end of the episode, like during the end credits, she does kind of like
Yeah, she opens up to them a bit.
yeah,
She's almost like, I like this guy. I don't think I can trust. I, you know, I'm talking about my life here.
she's like
I
she's
can't
like this
just
guy's kind
trust
of a
him.
psychopath when you think about it.
Well, it feels like she's more like, this guy's kind of a tard.
Yeah. This guy is autistic for real.
To be
Just like
fair, he
me.
did punch. Our best impression of him so far is he punched a shark to death.
Yeah.
That does require the tard strength.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, that I think that kind of wraps up episode 5 actually, with
Yeah.
her giving her name, but them going their separate ways until the next episode.
Until
Because the next,
yeah.
uh, just the vague spoiler for the next episode, because I know we're not going to go into it. She joins up with them because actually they give her a very logistical reason to do it. She doesn't know how to drive,
Yeah.
and they do,
That's
which is fair.
yeah, honestly. And that's
But
about
yeah,
it.
that's about it. So I guess maybe just general impressions from that point and what we think of the show so far.
I
And then
okay.
what you think of the show so far. I've seen it all, so
I didn't think I was gonna like it, to be honest. Like I was pleasantly surprised, like how good it is, how like
yeah,
artistically well made it is. Like
because
it is simple and it is like it is very like straightforward and I don't know.
there's no problem with that necessarily
No,
as
no,
long
no,
as you
not at
do
all.
it
I'm just
good.
saying, like, I didn't think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I I
No,
didn't
I understand
expect
what you mean.
like
Look,
doing dumb on purpose sometimes doesn't end well, but I think for this show it works very well.
and I don't think I would call it dumb necessarily. 'Cause there's a lot of smart things the show does, like the
No,
shark
yeah,
suit.
like it's like dumb smart. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it, like I said, the difference is it does a very risky kind of thing to it, where it's like, hey, let's make an optimistic zombie show.
Yeah, it does something that
Where
hasn't really been done before. Besides, like, I'd say Shaun of the Dead is the closest, but Shaun of the Dead's also pretty depressing. Like,
yeah,
specifically
like
the
he
second
loses his
half.
best friend,
So,
and yeah, he loses his best friend and his mom and
yeah, like
Shaun of the Dead.
his whole family basically dies in the movie, and he has like a mental breakdown and like cries, and it's like that is not very optimistic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said like this is an extremely unique take on the zombie
Yeah, yeah.
genre. Uh, and I don't think anyone can say it's not unique to at least some extent.
Are there
Uh,
any other zombie animes?
so there's two I know of. You probably wouldn't like either of them. So one of them, the whole fact that it's a zombie anime is a spoiler, so I don't think I should say the name of it because
Okay.
it's a spoiler.
Uh,
Basically the idea of it though is you're going through it from the eyes of a delusional girl, so it comes across as a very
oh.
stereotypical slice of life anime, and then you
Oh.
find out it's a delusion
That
from
sounds
this
cool.
character.
What the fuck? That sounds dope as
It's a
hell.
really it's
like,
kind of a cool show, but the problem is knowing that it's a zombie anime kind of
I got
spoils
you.
it. If it,
Yeah.
it spoils a bit a major reveal. But yeah, basically, because what you have is
That's
it's essentially
like,
a school. The way you get it phrased is it's a school club. But yeah, the main girl that is the main protagonist is delusional, and all the other characters know she's delusional, are playing into it because they don't want her to panic.
yeah. So you don't. So you think it's I'm assuming it's led to make you believe that the zombies are in her head, like they're not real. Oh.
No, the opposite. Everything else is in her head, and the
Oh.
zombies are.
Oh. What's the name? What's the name? I know it's a spoiler, but it's all right.
I believe it's School Life. Is the anime in particular? I never finished it, but so it comes across as just a cutesy moe blob show at first, which I don't know if that means anything to non-anime fans. So basically, it comes across as a cutesy like school life show at first, and then
Okay.
you kind of get the reveal because it cuts out of the character's perspective and into like what actually is the reality. I think it's the end of the first episode or the second episode. It's been a while since I saw this show, but the other major zombie anime that I can think of is High School of the Dead, which is really fun, but it's got a lot of like fan servicey stuff, and it's got a lot of like it's very much a weeb show. So if you're
Yeah.
not an anime fan, I don't recommend it.
Hey,
Also,
Gulif.
also,
What's up, Gulif?
no, yeah. Also, with High School of the Dead, no character above the age of 16 has a bust size below a C cup.
What?
No female character in that show has a bust size below a C cup outside of like
Okay.
the child
That's
character.
a weird detail to know about the show.
Uh, I only know it about the show because I watched it, and the titties are massive for some reason. Like all of them.
Fair
There's a specific
enough.
scene where a bullet goes between the titties of a chick to kill a zombie.
What?
It's very hyper. It's very hyper. It's very hyper fan servicey anime. That's what I can say.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
so
what Gulif's
that's
saying.
why.
That's what Gulif's saying.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's very.
thanks for your donation, Gulif.
I was considering making a cheeky super chat saying that this Rangi guest is really cool and you should have him on again.
Yeah, you
I
should have
decided
gone on
not
like
to do it
you
because
should have gone on like an anonymous account and just said like, "Wow, this Lucas guy fucking sucks. I'm unsubbing." But you're like giving me money at the same time.
that's always the funniest thing when it comes to like YouTubers getting into controversy where you get like the super chats that are like making fun of them, but there's also like a $20 super chat or something. I always like, why are you giving this guy money if you think they're evil?
Yeah, it's like the people that donate money to like XQC just to shit on him because they hate him.
Or,
It's like you're
I was
giving
gonna
him
say,
money. What do
is
you
it,
mean?
even ignoring XQC, I do think XQC is massively cringe, and I don't like him, but I also don't watch him.
But yeah.
But I was gonna say Boogie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but well,
I mean,
because Boogie like faked cancer and everything, like so
yeah.
even like the super chat shitting on him, I
Yeah.
feel like I wouldn't do that because like he's such a piece of shit. I don't ever want to give him.
Dude,
money.
people did that to fucking Mini Lad. Like, they would go to his stream and they would like donate money and say, "I know what you did. You can't run away from it." It's like, bro, he's just gonna say, "Thank you for the money. Fuck you." Like, what? Why are you giving him money in the first place? What the fuck?
If I ever get to the point in YouTube where I have super chats, you are free to give me all the money to shit on me you want. I'll rescind this opinion once I am financially benefiting from doing so. Well,
Yeah,
at least I'm an
fair enough. Fair
honest
enough.
sellout.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the anime goes, this is probably the best zombie anime to recommend to normies, which is kind of why I chose it, because obviously
Yeah.
the other two appeal to like anime fans in specific ways. One is like hyper fan servicey, obviously. It's what we what we weebs call an ecchi series, among other things. But also it was never completed. I think the creators of the manga died, or
Oh,
like one
really?
of the creators died, and so it got like discontinued.
Hmm. Okay.
I think it was something like that. But and then the other show, obviously, like I said, the the fact it's a zombie series is a twist, but then it's also like very slice of life cutesy anime
Yeah.
set up outside of that, and so it doesn't work. This is very easy, like recommend for like I said, this is a very easy recommend for people who aren't like dedicated weeps like me. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
I
Like.
I like all the anime stuff for the most part, but it's
Yeah.
hard to recommend certain series because especially to people who aren't already into the culture and into the medium,
Hmm.
because the medium has a specific like culture to it.
Yeah.
This is like one I said I can recommend to people like you, and you said you enjoy it.
Yeah. And I don't
There's
even
a lot
really
more
like anime.
to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and obviously I am an anime fan. Outside of that, do we have anything else to talk about, or should I just move on to plugging my channel?
Oh, before you plug your shit, what is your like favorite anime of all time?
Uh, favorite anime or the best anime, or what
Your
I
favorite?
consider the best anime?
Both. I don't know.
Okay, so my favorite anime of all time, I have like very like subjective reasons for it being it, because
Okay.
I stumbled upon it in a kind of a hard time in my life,
Okay.
around when my uh basically around when I had like a big move. Uh it's Ranma One Half.
Wait, it's what?
Ranma One Half, which is
I've
also
never
right
heard of
now
that.
getting a it's also right now getting a remake series on Netflix. It hasn't been terrible
Okay.
yet. So uh my the best let me look at my it's hard because my brain defaults to wait, what do you mean the best? Because like there are like I have what I consider the best slice of life anime, what I consider the best sports anime, what I consider the best like shonen anime.
Yeah.
If you want me to go into my other favorites, let me glance at my collection real quick, because
Okay.
I have to like choose one.
Okay. What we're gonna be here for another hour. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Netflix really likes anime for some reason. I don't know. Some exec is just like, we need to get more anime on this shit. So they're like making their own. Like, I've noticed the common trend of they're taking video games and making them anime. Like they're doing Witcher, Devil May Cry, Castlevania. Um, they just did Terminator. Well, that's not a video game, but still, adaptation of some sort. And Tomb Raider, which everyone's saying is
I,
shit. So
that Terminator anime also I did not think was very good.
I heard good things.
Oh, yeah. So it was very well received. I just think it was awful.
What about that
And
Tomb
wait,
Raider anime?
I've heard really bad. So, uh, if you want to hear my opinions on the Terminator anime,
Okay.
my friend Unity and I did a stream. Uh,
Okay.
I'll just plug the buddy, but yeah, he Unity reviews and analysis.
All
Uh,
right.
he and I have a stream on Terminator Zero. I recommend you check it out if you want to hear my opinions further. As far as the Tomb Raider show, I heard really bad things.
The
It
Terminator one, I'm actually gonna watch. Or yeah, Terminator one, I'm gonna watch. Tomb Raider, I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, so when it comes to my favorite anime, it's like I also have to ask like what do you mean? Like do you mean movies? Do you mean series? Cuz if you ask for what I think is the best anime series, like I said, it's really hard because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm not a person who like puts anything above too much else. Like the best series, it's probably gonna be like generic like stuff that you hear. Like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is extremely good. Death Note is good, but I don't think it's on the same level. Uh, uh my favorite sports anime is Kira no Sora.
Okay.
I really liked that. Outside of that, there's Kino's Journey. Kino's Journey is probably my favorite that I think is also just extremely good. The original Kino's Journey. I haven't watched the remake of it yet. There's a lot of things I could probably say. Outlaw Star. Then you have like the old school classics like Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop,
Right. Yeah, I've
Trigun.
heard of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. It's the. I'm not a big like I. You're asking me to choose my favorite child here. Uh, Ghost in the Shell. All
Yeah, I've
this
heard of
other
that.
stuff is very good. Uh, as far as stuff this season, I've been watching the Ranma remake. Like I said, Ranma's my favorite series of all time. It's a comedy shonen series. It might not be your thing though. Like I said, with me, a lot of it comes down to the original anime. I watched at like a difficult time in my life, and so I have like
Right.
very specific like positive feelings towards it because it kind
Yeah.
of helped me get out of an emotional rut.
Yeah. Something you have like an emotional connection to and
Yeah.
nostalgia for.
Yeah. Outside of that, there's plenty of Spice and Wolf. The remake and the original are both very good too. And if you want something Halloween themed, Helsing Ultimate.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I've been wanting to watch it. I know it's about like demons and shit.
Vampires. Vampires.
Vampires, okay. It's like vampire hunters, right?
It's about an organization called the Helsing Organization that hunts vampires, and one of the main
Okay.
characters involved is a vampire himself named Alucard.
Name what?
Alucard.
Alucard?
Yes.
Oh. I thought
Who
wait.
might be another
Wait.
vampire given the name.
Alucard's also a Castlevania character. That's why I was
Yeah.
confused. Is it the same
Well,
character?
do you know what Alucard is backwards?
No? Oh,
Dracula.
Dracula. Yeah. Uh, Alucard's the so in Castlevania,
Yeah.
he's Alucard is he the
It's a
son
common
of Dracula?
yeah. So
Or the
it's a common trope.
reincarnation of Dracula?
It's a common trope that Dracula uses the name Alucard when he's undercover because it's Dracula backwards, but
Okay,
also
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Outs-
Alucard is Dracula's son in Castlevania. Because there's
outside of
also
that, I'm not.
there's another character that is in Castlevania lore, I believe Dracula reincarnates himself, and there's another character that uh like finds out that he will become Dracula. Like there's a whole thing to it. But yeah, I don't know. I just find that funny that they're both the same name.
Either way, I think we've exhausted the top. Like I said,
Yeah.
I could list really good anime all day. Uh, there's a lot of stuff, and I'm sure there's also people who are like gonna be like, oh, normie tastes. But
Normie
the
taste.
problem, well, the problem is I can't. It's hard to recommend a lot of like really uh focused anime. Like I could recommend the Monogatari series.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched the Monogatari series actually, so I'm just gonna be honest with that. It's on my to watch list. There's like the Fate series and like all these other like anime series. I used
Yeah.
Monogatari as a thing that like normies wouldn't have heard of. But the problem is you get when you're recommending anime to people, I don't view anime as for everybody.
Yeah. It's yeah. And plus there are a bunch of different genres of anime and whatnot. So
Yeah, yeah.
yes. Yeah.
If I had to give like a what I think is the best to recommend to like normies or maybe something like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, or Black Lagoon is a good
Okay.
place to like touch base. That stuff resonates very well with like non-anime fans. Black Lagoon especially. If you're a fan of like action movies and stuff, you might really like Black Lagoon.
Okay.
Uh uh, yeah, it's a very 80s action movie kind of centric series. Uh, but yeah, as far as the rest goes, do we end it now, or do we go on for another
Yeah.
like 2 hours?
No. I haven't eaten any food in like 24 hours. I'm fucking hungry. I've been
That's
waiting till the
fine.
end of
You're
the
a
stream
zombie.
to
You guys
eat
can go
food.
forever.
What?
You're a zombie. You guys can go forever without
No.
eating.
No. Yeah, I gotta go eat some brains. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Anyways,
Well,
plug
yeah.
your shit. Do it.
Yeah, all
Do
right.
it.
My channel is Rangi or at Rangi Nui. I do gaming streams and occasionally anime review streams. I've only done one so far, but this is technically it's my third if you count the Unity stream, but that's not on my channel, and that kind of almost predates my channel. I think I
Damn.
made it like right before. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, outside of that, I did the Sword Art Online. This is kind of the format I'm planning to do for my channel and for my reviews. But other than that, I do gaming streams. I've been playing through Bioshock for October. I'm planning to get through that. But if you're interested in this type of content and you're interested in like anime and stuff, I recommend you check me out. And if not, well, it was nice knowing you, I guess. It was nice interaction.
Well,
I had fun.
me too. Wish Iron were here. Fucking monkey. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, monkeys are not known for being reliable. Let's be
True,
honest.
true. Oh wait, are we talking about the animal or?
Wait, what? Wait.
All right. Anyways,
What racer?
thank you
I was
everyone
gonna
for
say, who are you
watching.
for the getting buff with monkeys?
Thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna end the stream before I get canceled on Twitter. And we're gonna do part 2 in like 2 weeks from today. So
Yep.
see you then. And I'm gonna keep procrastinating all of my other videos, and I'm not gonna upload for another month. Goodbye.